good evening, or morning, or afternoon. Welcome to Lazy Mini Painting. And yeah, apparently I've been live for 4 years. 4 years of Laz being in front of you listening and you watching for some strange, bizarre reason that I've never figured out. But hello to everybody. Hello, Silvers. Hello, welcome in. Thank you for coming to join this 4-year anniversary streamy thing that I'm doing today. I didn't realise to me that it was like 4 years until somebody asked me to look back on my videos, and I went, put it from oldest to newest, and it literally popped up. This was 4 years ago. I was like, oh, what? Did not realise. So, obviously, like everybody else, good evening, Francois. Good evening. So, I'm going to look back at some of the stuff that I've been doing over these last 4 years. Now, there is all sorts of stuff that I've been doing. I know that much. I've been doing a lot of stuff over the last 4 years. Whether it be Space Marines, whether it be Necrons, I can't show Necrons. Yes, I did see your Death Guard Rhino in Discord, although I've only just seen it because I've had a busy couple of days. I've not been on Discord properly. And that does look very nice. It does look nice. Yeah, but I've got to say your epoxy work is good, especially when it comes to Nurgle. I've just got to wait for my phone to actually tell me that I'm live now, and so I can actually click on the correct one so I can catch everybody in the portrait mode. It also means I've got to turn my volume all the way down. So now I can go catch everybody in portrait mode as well, and I don't miss chats anymore, like last time, because it wouldn't let me access this one for some strange, bizarro reason. Good evening, Ali. Good evening. Thank you for joining me, and for joining me for covering me, should I say, covering for me, because you know what I'm like, I don't always get there. So what are we actually going to look through? I was actually struggling to think of what to look through for this evening. Good evening, Twisted. Hello. Can you stop making me look bad in my own work in progress section, please? I'm joking. That's looking good. The OSL that you've got on that boot now. Oh, it's really good. So, yeah. As I was going back to, let's move my mustache comb out of the way. Quick one just to get rid of any stray hairs sticking up and move things out of the way, because look, I've got space on my desk. For all of 5 minutes. So how far do we go back? Thank you very much, Ali, for the congratulations on 4 years. Let's go back to one of my really, really early projects, shall we? Does anyone remember the hills? Now, I remember these because I made these. This was my first attempt at making something scenery-esque. My first attempt. Now, inside this is actually my first attempt because it was just scored polystyrene. But afterwards, after speaking to Dave at MS Paint and finding out how he fixed his, which was apparently throw them in the bin and start again, I opted for a different route. So I took the scored polystyrene, which makes up the centre here. I put a base on it, so I had a lip round it, and then I used the wall filler like I've done with the Magical World of Sparkles and Oaks to create those rocks. I did the same on here, but I dyed them with. Oh, that's weird. Let's move that out of the way because that shouldn't be seen, should it? But I used a lot of washes and speed paints, and I used to dye them. And this is what I ended up with as one of my first ever built rocks. So the idea of this is to be just a razor. So I did build multiple. If I can find the other one. There we go. So it's just to be razors, so things can either stand behind and get line of sight blocking, just to be, stop it being open and easy for shooting enemies. Good evening, Doug Blake fan, yeah. Yeah, I get what I get. People come and see me. People like me, they stay. If people don't like me, they don't stay. I don't force anyone. If you think I should have that many subs, then I'm not going to disagree with you, but I currently don't have them. So, apparently some people do. But, as I say, if people come and find me and they like me, then I'm happy for them to stay. If they don't wish to stay, I'm not going to force them. But thank you for coming in and saying hello to us. So yes, I did build a lot more of these. Almost a full table's worth, in fact. Due to my limited room and me getting the Games Workshop Hillboard, I threw the majority of them, particularly the large, like near enough 2 foot long by a foot wide ones. The very big hills I threw away. I did keep a couple of the smaller hills just so I could use them on the board if I needed to. So yeah, when I did these, I can't remember how long ago it is that I did these. They've withstood quite a lot of beating. The bottom layer here is now bare foam because it has took a beating. It has took a very big beating. But they've withstood a good couple of years of moving through drawers, changing round, sliding across tables, being knocked off. So yeah, they do need a little bit of touching up, as you can see, with some of their beatings that they took. Good evening, Fish. Hello, and thank you for coming to join us as well. I'm trying to keep this as central as I can for both cameras, as I am aware that I'm streaming over both portrait and vertical again. But no, horizontal and vertical. So yeah, those were some of my first actual terrain pieces that I made. During this time, I also decided to find out if I could do brickwork. And I found out I could when I did my first basic sheet. Really? Is that... Wow. Silvers, you started about the same time? But I'm guessing you was more dedicated and a lot more focused when you started. I started without a clue, and I'm still at that point now. I still do not have a clue what I'm doing. Even this stream right now, I am completely running by the seat of my pants. So when I first did that, I also decided I was going to do brickwork. I will go and get the other brickwork piece in a moment, because it is tucked away nicely. But I figured out that I could do these. Now this is also where I figured out that I could do mind-numbing, monotonous jobs for a long time, because each one of these bricks are individually placed. Every single one of them, all one by hand. So if you actually look at the size of this for a small Dungeons and Dragons playmat, it's quite easy to fit a couple of characters on there and have them running around quite neatly. So I do enjoy that. I did enjoy doing that. But I'm taking this off, I'm too warm now. I was too cold a minute ago and now I'm roasting. So off comes the hoodie and on goes the t-shirt. But that wasn't enough for me just doing a single sheet of road. I also found other ways to do it. Now I can't actually get this foam in plates anymore. They only do paper plates anymore now. But I was lucky enough just before they stopped selling paper plates to get foam plates, which are extremely good for etching, as I found out. So rather than hand place all the bricks like these are, I etched these ones in to be the pavement, the sidewalk alongside the road. I only managed to get one because I ran out, because I'm really lucky like that. When I went to get more, as I said, they've only got paper plates. I did, however, manage to make 3 of these. Same technique, just a foam plate, only a couple of mil thick, and with a mechanical pencil, just etching the stonework where you want it to be. And if I remember correctly, some of these should actually match up to each other relatively nicely, if I can remember which way around they actually go. And I can't, as apparently is the case right now. Is that not even the right one? That's not even the right one. Right, okay. That's a little bit better. So they do kind of match up to each other. Or is it supposed to be that way? I can't remember now. But eventually you do end up with a cobblestone street. I have two more which I have not yet painted, which will match up to make a nice 5 set. So just to go back, I'm going to see if I can do this again on these tonight, which is going to be fun because I cannot remember the technique I used. Obviously it's going to involve dry brushing because, well, it's me. It's my favourite technique. So if we can recreate those on at least one of these tonight, that is what we will find out. In fact, we'll look into that in a second, and that'll be the first thing we do. So we have cobbled street. I've still got the tub of bricks actually, or I should still have the tub of bricks if I had a light on to see. Let's do that, shall we? Now I can see where I'm looking. I have that's up there. We also have, where's my tub of bricks gone? I should have a very big tub. There it is. I found it. So when it comes to making this, as I said, all individually laid. That is the exact same. That's that foam. The foam from like meat packing and foam plates and foam cups. That is what that is. That is perfect. So yes, with silvers, that's the foam I used. In this case, it was underfloor heating to make the bricks. Underfloor insulation, sorry. Cut by hand and glued on by hand to make road. And I still have hundreds, if not thousands, left. And that's after doing the other project, which we'll bring out after I've seen if I can replicate, or at least prep the replication of the tiles. So let's put all these back, and you can see the difficulty I'm having just getting them to... Foam does not slide across foam very easily, as I found out. Let me just inform the children that they can be picked up on the microphone and see if that helps them moderate the volume. It's just because I don't think they want to have anything to do with my channel or be heard on it, so at least give them the warning first. Have to go. It's just that I didn't think they'd want to be heard on my channel, so I thought I'd let them know that they could be. So we start with black, so let's get some black. Oh, is that how the thumbs up works on the thingy? Thank you, Ali. You've told... I didn't know how that worked. And another... Can I open... Is it going to let me open Discord without problems? I hope so. Because we have just had another update. No, that's... Wait a minute. I've jumped way too far up there. Oh, see... Now he's got the green and the teeth and the skulls and the tentacles and the faces and the eyes. And the very, very subtle Nurgle logo just above that mouth. Although now I'll look in, zoom in, that's a nice mouth. Very well put in. Along with that, I'm not sure where you got that pipe work from, but it's good pipe work. In fact, I'm going to click one of them on it as well. Who else clicked one? Yep, Twisted. I'm going to click one with Twisted. I could build a round. At the moment, he's storing the bricks, so I can't make. I'm not going to make a round tower out of it at the minute because it is storing the bricks. But what I will do is paint this black. Aura, how are you doing? Welcome in. Well, Aura Archie, sorry. Just in case there's another Aura sat there and I didn't realise. But welcome in, thank you for coming to join us. I'm going to see if I can recreate something I did years ago, which is one of these D&D tiles. And I'm going to see if I can do it again now. Yes, for those people in portrait, if you would prefer landscape, there is a landscape stream, and those people in landscape, if you prefer a portrait stream, there is a portrait stream. There is one for everyone. So very quickly, paint the damn thing black as a base coat, and it is a very quick base coat. It doesn't need much on one of these because there's going to be lots of layers of paint going over the top. Greys, greens, browns, ivories. There's going to be quite a few layers going over this, so it doesn't need too much of a clean base coat. It doesn't have to be completely flat. It just needs something for the other paint to adhere to. And if you don't mind, then you stay wherever you're comfortable. You stay where you're comfortable. That'll work. It's the best way for everyone, really. That way no one feels like they're being forced into anything. Except for me, but then again, I'm the person here. I'm supposed to be doing something. Okay, can somebody do me a favour? We have another one of those stupid religious nutheads in. I'm over 5 minutes. Yeah, can someone tell them to fuck off, please? Because this is the wrong stream for it. And Michelangelo P, don't give a fuck, go away. Wrong stream. Hi Enzi. That was possibly the like. Go on, Caden. Go on. See, I can't do unless you want it in the Irish accent, in which case I'm not very good at it, and I don't wish to offend one of my moderators because they may no longer moderate for me. I believe Sparkles has got that particular message. In the Discord, I ask you to police yourselves. On here, I will police you. As if you're new to this channel, I'm quite laid back as long as you don't do stupid things such as bring politics in here because I'm not a politician, or bring religion up because, well, I don't give a shit. If you can avoid those two, we're fine. I'll joke along most things, but yeah, those two, no, you gone. It's the easiest method. Okay, now I've nearly finished painting this one. As I said, it doesn't have to be neat, it doesn't have to be tidy, it just has to have done the job. A variance in colour is not a bad thing when it comes to cobblestones. Oh, heavy command. Ali, I'm not going to try it. You can do the Irish accent better than I can. If it was to do it in a Scottish accent, or at least a Glaswegian accent, I might give it a go. But that distinctly sounded like an Irish accent. I give it a shot, but I don't think it worked. Thank you for calling in, Laura. You have a good night and a good day. You enjoy the rest of it, and thank you for calling in. If it was a little bit abrupt when that Michelangelo turned up, then I'm sorry, but that doesn't happen that often. And once it's happened once, it usually doesn't happen again on a stream. So I shall let that dry while I go look for the building. The big building, which uses more of these for floors. And lots of bricks. Oh, lots of them. I've got to get all 3 floors as well. All 3 floors. Now they're in the cupboard in here. Just don't fit anywhere else. Oh no. That one's the big one. Just get the big one. Go with that. I'm standing on things that don't need to be stood on. It's not working. I've actually found something that's even older than these, which I painted around. I have 3 pieces. So we'll come to the Games Workshop stuff in a minute. But first of all, let's go back to. Let's see if we can actually remember how it goes together first of all, because it is a bit of a stiff fit after all the glue and the extra stuff that I've put on that didn't come with it. Now, if anyone's familiar with TT Combat, they make oh, good evening, El Belcher. You finally got around to cleaning your airbrush. I've still got one that needs sorting out. I can't figure out how it's getting the backdraft on it, but my other 2 are working fine for once. So yeah, I can feel your pain there on cleaning airbrushes. It is not fun. But going back to TT Combat, I bought a 3-story building, and with it being just plain plywood, I wasn't happy with it. So instead, I took said bricks that I pointed out earlier, and I bricked up every single wall, all of them. Added moss where I thought moss would be growing, and added floors. So on the top we have what would be more of a wooded slat floor. Done the same method that I did these with, just using a thicker foam. That was all. So the top floor is the wooden floor with the outer bricks. It's easier if I actually take them apart, isn't it, and show like this. Then there was the middle floor, which I went for a checkered tile. Again, with moss growing up the outside and bricks covering all the way around. Doing the windows was a nightmare. It was just way too difficult to get all the windows in properly. I don't want to do that again. Good job I've only done it twice. And in this case, we also have the base one. Now the base I made bigger, which should have only been this big. I added it to a board and took what would have been the top layer and blew it out to make barricades around the edge. So now you can stick a full, say, 10-20 man unit within side, whether you play in Age of Sigmar, 40k. If you want to use it as just broken buildings for a Dungeons and Dragons table, which I have done, it did work just about. And nicely, if you lay them up, these work quite well to act as the street outside, which is why I need more, which is why I need lots more. But these are now over 2 years, 2.5 years old, nearly 3. So it is a bit of a different one. for me, especially when I went more the gothic fantasy style with the actual buildings, even though I did throw in a little bit of the standard red exploding barrel across them. Now again, trying to make sure I keep all the, even though I've bricked up these sections back here, I did try to keep the holes intact as much as possible so you can see through. Thais, thank you very much for coming in and joining me. You went back to watch the hills? The hills weren't bad. The hills are not bad. I think I could do better again if it was to retry in the future. But I currently don't have the need to because I've got a big board with built-in hills already. If I, for some reason, feel the need to add more hills to those hills, I think I'm going to redo more hills. Yeah, it is pretty much him. It was Dave. I pestered Dave and said, how did you fix your hills? And he told me he threw them away and started again. So I started again. Because he couldn't tell me how to fix them. And it was his method that I was copying to start with. Quite blatantly copying. It was not my idea to do the scoring into the side of it. And how to fix it was a combination of the two of us brainstorming. So I didn't have to throw my hills away like he did. And I got to still get something a little bit better, well, a lot better, let's face it, than what I originally had. So that is building number 1, which is very accessible. As you can see, the bottom floor is very accessible to the point that a little Votan model can sit all the way inside and under the bottom floor. So it's an accessible building. For some reason, I can't find the base section for the inaccessible building. I will go look for that now because I've got the other 2 parts, I just can't find the other one. Now those are more industrial, they do have some parts on them to make them more sci-fi-esque, or at least steampunk-esque, if you wanted to go that far, depending which way you wanted to put it. I really want to find that bottom floor now, because if I can't find it, I can't use the bloody building when I need to use it. So, off we go to hunt for more stuff. Now, I should have probably done this earlier on today, but I've got that much stuff, I've had to narrow it down to where I'm going to go looking, and it's mostly going to be the scenery drawers that I go to. Now, where the hell is this one? There's the turn 2 plus. I've got the other 2 plus. That's good. Have a lot of bases. Good one. Right now. Checking and nice. Come with laptops. Oh, sparkles, have you seen that? For the building base. Water. Oops. Got the Aquila strong point over. Well, that is a shame, because to say that I've been looking all day would be a lie. But to say that I've not looked at all would also be a lie. Because I have definitely looked, I just can't find the bloody thing. And I just realised I have just broken a Ripper Swan base. How I've just broken a Ripper Swan base, I am not sure. But I have. How did you end up down there? And is there anything else down there I need to be aware of? No. Good. Well, I can't find the other one, which is a very big shame. So seeing as I can't find that, let's move on to the Games Workshop terrain. One of the earliest ones that I painted. Because I got this, not in the Combat Patrol magazine, but in the very, very first one that they did. So, Combat Patrol is the third magazine that Hachette has brought out selling Warhammer. And it's covering lots of little armies. The last one they brought out had Necrons on one side and lots of little Imperial factions on the other. The first one they brought out, was it Necrons? Yeah, the first one they brought out was solely Space Marines versus Death Guard with a load of scenery. And that is when I got these. Very, very simple. Very basic generators with a platform. Plasma, obviously. Very basic plasma. Which, actually, now I'm looking at it, I have a blue wash. If I could throw a blue wash through there, that'll probably make that look 1,000 times better. Where's my blue wash? So I'm going to update it because I can make it better now because I have things that I didn't have when I painted it. How good is that? I didn't even think about this. I mean, technically, I am giving these to my friend because I'm getting other scenery from him. More in line with large-scale battles than small skirmish battles. And he's getting what could essentially be classified as Necromunda terrain. If I just add a small wash into those edges and around there, just a little bit, not too much. So this is improving on something that I painted years ago now. Just because I couldn't do this then. And I'm seeing if I can make it any better. All while I wait for that little foam tile to dry. So we can again recreate something else that I did years and years and years ago. And for those people who have nightmares about me painting Tyranids, no, I don't intend to be doing any of those today. Because even I still have nightmares about those. After you painted 60 gaunts, well no, more than that isn't it? It's more like 80 something gaunts. You kind of, yeah, it gets a bit too much after a while. So now that I've painted that in, hopefully that'll dry a little bit better. Now I also figured out on these, if I can actually get it in a plate where my microphone isn't blocking the light, very quick Army Painter Speed Paint blot for the lights works brilliantly, as I found out. Now, the rust or the beat up metal is nothing more than lead belcher dry brush and a Monfang dry brush, or Monfang brown dry brush. If you didn't know what Monfang was, just it's a Citadel paint. Graham, hello. Yeah, I won't quite tell that story yet, but I've got a little story to tell about you, Graham, and me, and how we are affecting Sparkles mentally. I'm laughing for a reason, because you're fucking hilarious, because I've never... Yeah, this... We'll get onto it in a minute. We'll go through the big crane first, which again has the little layers through blue. Now it's just gone from Calgar blue, Macragge blue, and what was it called again? I think I Thousand Suns is what I used for at the time, even though now I do have the Techless blue, which would be just as good. But yeah, I think it was Thousand Suns blue because it was the only one I had at the time, which was done on all the generators, anything that runs any kind of plasma power, and obviously the great big whopping claw at the top, which was fun to paint. Again, using the same Monfang brown base coat, and then a lead belcher dry brush, or a dry brush of each over a black undercoat really does it quite well. And getting the skulls was a pain, especially with the metallic sections. Just on the, I'll show you the bigger version in a minute, and then getting the ivory section right for the skulls and picking out all the little brass plating and any little canisters. Did you put lots of greeblies all over this? Lots of greeblies and other things. Now, you are completely innocent in this case, Graham. It was all to do with the dream. It was just the comedic value of the dream that that has got me tickled pink. It really has. So the larger version of this skull obviously is a much cleaner ivory. Doesn't look like it needs a wash though, now that I'm looking at it. And a much cleaner metal plate. Now this was an absolute pain to put together because you have to pinch these, otherwise they pull apart and pull away from the chain. So these... this Crane Twisted is a no longer sold piece of stock from Games Workshop. As I said, I was lucky enough to get it through part of the very first Hachette magazine. It just took me a while to put it together and get it painted. In fact, it took me starting a YouTube channel to put it together and get it painted. But it did work. Again, this one will be staying with me. This one won't be getting given away. And just to finish off that little piece of terrain set, we have the whopping great big plasma generators. Again, absolutely beautiful model. Really easy to paint, yet annoying, because the amount of wires that I've had to paint, either green, red, blue. I should have a yellow one in there somewhere. Just one or two. Getting in behind this actual pipe section to get a plate back here. That was a good catch. I nearly dropped that. And all the extra little tech logos. There's loads of Mechanicus logos all over this. Now I am showing you this side first for a very good reason. That's because I'm actually quite proud of this side. I'm at my earliest attempt at doing dirtied mechanical skulls, using lots of ivories, greys and washes. It did take me about 2 or 3 attempts to get it looking like this, especially with the eye, and trying not to get this side to stand out too much against this side, because any colour I would have put on here would have helped drown out all of this, which I didn't want to happen. And the yellow light doesn't even stand out because this is so bright. If I put anything more on here, it would have had the same effect. But again, the yellow lights have both been done in the same way. Just white underneath, slight dab of yellow speed paint, and just let it do its work. I did remember to put the cappers on. I do have 2 of these, but these will be going to my friend who's doing the Necromunda side of things rather than the 40k side of things. And no, they don't have a channel. Before anyone goes, where can I go see them? I'm afraid you can't. This is going to be the last chance you get to see these on the channel, sadly, because they are quite nice. I did enjoy painting these. They were very, very fun to get done. The memories and the nostalgia of the stress of doing it all in about 3 streams. In fact, I think I did this, apart from the skull section, I think I did most of this in 1 stream, which was frustrating itself, getting all the white little sections on the gauges. Which, yes, there are white sections on the gauges. If I get it out of the light there, you can actually see them. Those little dots. What is cooler than Games Workshop scenery? Well, have you got something like this? Graham, do you have something like this? I'm asking that because I do peruse your site quite a lot. In fact, that is a nice segue into the story that I was laughing at when I saw you coming. I'm still waiting for this to dry fully. So last night, Sparkles had a dream about me and Graham, and that dream involved Sparkles doing something I have never seen her do, which is raise her voice and resort to violence in her dream. And the reason she got that far was, in her dream, Graham showed up at our house with a duffel bag full of models. Full. Rammed to the bursting point of models. Apparently he got as far as the door, told me what he had, and in her dream Sparkles went absolutely ballistic. So yes, it was all in a dream, mate, don't worry. But yeah, Sparkles has nightmares about you turning up with models. We have done our job well. She is traumatized. We have managed to traumatize her, which is, it's not something you should be doing to your wife, really, is it? Well, it's not something I should be letting you do to my wife, and it's not something I should be doing to my wife at all. So, yeah, we have, at one time she used to dread me going onto GW's website. Now she dreads me going onto yours. I am, and I'm holding on to that title with every last piece of my being. Anyone wants to try and take that title away, I will fight them for it. Oh no, it's the baggage is fine, Ali. It's what was in the baggage that is what Sparkles had a problem with. When we're talking like duffel bag full of models, it's like turning up with my entire Tyranid army and going, there you go, you can have that for free. It was a lot, apparently. It was a lot. So much so to make the most placid person I know. See, I've never even heard Sparkles swear. I have never heard Sparkles swear. Apparently she did in this dream. She was swearing like a trooper in this dream, apparently. So everyone else is fine to turn up to my house with bags, just not Graham, apparently. So we'll go with that. Graham can't turn up with bags because Sparkles gets scared. Okie dokies. Now we need some paints. Now, if I remember correctly, I used quite a bit of Death Guard, which I should have one open up. No, I'll go with Straken Green this time, just for a bit of... Oh, you saw it in her eyes the other week when you turned up with this. No, you see, it went straight away when she saw the size of it. When she realised what it was, it disappeared quite quickly. But, yeah. I can imagine there's very few things that can make my wife to be however you want. Just my significant better half is probably the best way I can put it. There's very few things that can make her angry. Apparently me getting extra models is one of them. Which you think should be used to it by now, you know, with the amount I've actually got. Or maybe that's the problem in and of itself, eh? I've got too many models and she doesn't want me turning up with any more. And right, so we need Administratum Grey. We need a variant of green that's already open, ideally, and that will be the Straken Green. And then we need Wraithbone. Is that... Oh no, it's Pallid Witch Flesh. We don't need Pallid Witch Flesh, we need Wraithbone. We need Wraithbone, people. Where have I put all my Wraithbone? There it is. Okay, so let's see how well this is gonna go. Not 100% sure, because as I said, it has been a few years since I've done this one, and I've completely forgot the techniques I used and how I went about deciding it in the first place. I also couldn't find the stream where I did them, so I did look just to go, where is it, refresh my memory, and I couldn't find the stream. I know it's there, because I remember doing it, but I'm just hoping it's not on one of the few where I've took them down because of the guest that was on. There are a few videos that have been removed due to the guests that were on, but not all of them. Most with guests I do still have up and running. It's just one particular guest I have chose to remove from my channel for similar reasons that I got rid of Michelangelo a moment ago. So I need some kind of clear palette to put some kind of paint on. And this is not the best way to clean it, with your fingernails and just scrape it off. I mean, literally just scraping the paint off with my nail. Ominous. I'm just not giving them. I'm just not saying the name. That's all. Long-time viewers of the channel will recognise that there's a person that I've had on a few times, and if they go looking back, they'll go, "Oh, that one." Okay, because they'll notice a couple of different videos that are no longer up on my channel. So there was a few non-painting, non-building, more playing style videos. Now my 9th edition game is still up there for people to go watch, and Sparkles didn't have anything to do with that one. Sparkles never even interacted in any way, shape or form. However, Graham, she does actually like you, she just doesn't like me getting models from you. So she's got nothing personal against you, it's just my habits. There's what she's got a problem with, and you just happen to help me with those. And there are, I count 9 on there, Ali. I count 9. Somebody's retracted their like from my portrait view, which they're allowed to do. Not like it actually cost them anything to leave it up there, but it says 10 on Sparkles, but 9 on mine. Do I need to refresh or something? I don't want to leave it because it doesn't let me back in. Alright, so I've cleaned my palette up somewhat so I can use it. As I said, I've only got about 3 colours, so it's not like I have much to do on it. So I only need 3 little wells clear. Or clear enough to put paint in and not spill stuff all over me. So we start, in this case, with Administratum Grey. And we follow the basic principle of we're not allowed to put it next to itself. So if we're painting one grey, the one directly next to it cannot be grey. How peculiar. I have my technology has a habit of not telling me what's going on anyway. There could be 47 people watching me and it'll say 3. So I've lost track, and I've lost trying to keep up with actual viewer counts and likes during the stream, so it doesn't work. So just picking out the odd, or the top of the odd cobblestone with grey. We don't want too many of them, but I could do with a nice big one. Let's do that one. Now this we do want more of a flat colour on, so we don't want to screw up too much while we're putting on the actual colours. Even though they will be getting gone over again, we don't want to mess them up too much by getting them all uneven. And I mean, a slight tonal variation is fine, but we don't want big brush strokes in there. We don't want to see stuff. Yeah, I strongly suggest you don't do that, Graham. I mean, turn up, you are invited. But if you wish to bring a wedding present, I'd suggest you don't bring one of those. I would be over the fucking moon. Sparkles would not, because, well, I've been given the all clear that once the ceremony's out of the way, and once any talkiny and meaty greety, anything mandatory is out of the way, then we kind of have free, clear reign to go do stuff, as long as we stay on premises. So if you were to bring that, please bring activator and super glue as well, and we can all put it together. Me, you, Dave, Ramrod, Karma. Well, we could all just go to one of the side rooms and we'll just put it together. But it's at that point that I have possibly one of the shortest marriages on record. You can't see what Graham's written, can you? So Ali said Graham is safe. You've just zoomed in and seen it? Yeah. You know what a Titanic vehicle is, don't you? See, my Stomper's a Titanic vehicle. Something maybe a bit bigger, depending which one he chooses. But yeah, about that size. Luckily, I have a Stomper for Sparkles to figure out what a Titanic vehicle is, and I have a Baneblade as well. Oh, that would be nice. That would be so nice. But I don't want to. Would it be able to? If I was to get like a Joy Toy Corn Berserker, would I be able to stick it onto a Baneblade and make a lot of skulls? Sounds possible. It does sound possible. If anyone is posting anything on Discord that they would like me to go and view or comment on or anything like that, I currently have Discord in streamer mode, so it will not notify me. If something comes up, you will have to do that manually. You've got SCLs for all of them. Oh, fuck. As I said, I'd be over the moon. Whether or not your feet touch the floor on the way out is a different matter. And remember to duck, because I've got a feeling the Titan will be coming straight behind you. But all joking aside, yes, you are still invited, Graham. Don't worry. And whether or not you bring decks of cards is a different matter. It's entirely up to you. But I did mention the idea, and that's what got the once you've done everything, fine. But not until you've done everything. Is that right? Okay. So I'm on group duties for the day, of course. Rather odd if I wasn't. But yes, I'm on groom duties. But once I've done all my groom duties, up until in regards to the reception and things are concerned, we can go geek out. And I know there's going to be 4 of us there. There's at least 4 of us. And depending how much collaboration you manage to get beforehand, you might even be able to get something that it's like, well, we're probably going to have a table that's at least 3 foot by 3 foot spare somewhere. Bet we could use it to run this. And then Sparkles comes in to find you, Ramrod, me and Dave all playing whatever game it is that's been brought along. It'll keep me out of trouble and it'll stop me getting drunk. So to me that sounds like a good plan. No, it's the browns that I've forgotten. It's the browns. I forgot a brown. I need a brown. Where's my brown? Where's my brown? Where's my brown? I need a brown. A brown. Oh, speaking of which, I've got Mornfang brown. That is perfect. I got the brown. I've got my brown. So, a couple of brown ones and then some green ones, and hopefully they're all dried, and then we can dry brush it with ivory. again, I'm just going to go for some of the larger ones just because it's easier to see then on camera. And you notice the effects more, I think. I'm trying to remember from when I first did these. As I said, it was quite a while ago. In fact, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna go see if I can find the. No worries, Twisty. We'll see you later. Enjoy your dinner, mate. Enjoy your lunch, tea, food, just food. I don't know what you call it, whether you're having it as dinner or what. Right, let's go to my channel. Listen to my computer go nuts, and click on oldest, and let's go find out where on earth I did these. Well, the plasma reactors were 3 years ago. As with oh wow, and so was the crane. It was well over 3 years ago. Where are my tiles? They were after them, which I will go back up and bring one of those down in a moment because those were part of it. Aha! So models and musings round about 29, I believe. Was models and musings 29. It's saying it's a year ago, but it's well over a year at this point. Because just above it starts changing to 2 years ago, and that's the same type of models that I was doing at that time. So we're talking very early last year. Because Tyranids were 2 years ago at this point, even though I'm still doing them to this day. And that was also around about the time that I got a gift from Ali as well. Wow. Okay. Close that. So there we go. Good night, Graham, if you're getting off, mate. Thanks for calling in for a bit, and yeah. You're not really in trouble. As I said, it was just a dream that Sparkles had that scared the living hell out of her. And was one of the few times that she's actually swore and gone off her head. It just happens to all be in a dream. I'm waiting to see this day. I don't want to be around. I don't want to be the point of it because she's had me to learn from. But yeah, one day she's going to flip a nut at somebody, and I'm not looking forward to that because there's going to be a lot of shit comes out of that person, and I don't want to be that person. Oh! We have the usual symbol. Oh, you were saying goodnight to Twisted. No worries. That's good. Well, Twisted's not going for a sleep. He's going for food. Like, give it a light, please. Because apparently it doesn't look good. As Buzzard keeps telling me, my cup is not the greatest of viewing experiences. Because I use it a lot. I use it a lot. Puff Puff Pass, thank you very much, Mick. I will need that later. I see. I couldn't actually see that. I've just had to go back and double check my phone that you are actually in there. Yep, you are. I just saw the 3 and the hand, and I knew it was you. Cheers, man, for calling in. I know it's been 4 years, dude. It's been 4 years, and that's not even counting going up on JV's Hangouts. So I technically been on YouTube for over 4 years now. Just my own channel. I have been on other people's doing stuff I probably shouldn't be telling you about, so you can go find it. But yeah, JV's Hangout on JV's channel. The Friday night hangouts during 2019, 2020. Well, how can I say this? They were Certainly unscripted. And definitely not for the faint of heart. When games like let's see who we can pick on until they leave get made up, that's not great. Well, I mean, it was fun, it was absolutely brilliant, but if you're not of the right disposition, probably not a good idea for you to go watch. If you are, then oh boy, are you in for a treat. Yeah. Highly intoxicated and inebriated Englishmen, Irishmen, Americans and Canadians. All talking. Sometimes at the same time. You get to see friendships born. I was going to say enemies, but that's too big of a word. I mean, that's too much of a word. But certainly non-friendships form. Along with plenty of mick taking from our friends. It was also where I met many of the people that I talk to today still. So Blake, JV, Squirrel, and it was EB who got me into those places. I'm going to blame him. I'm going to blame EB for all of that. Because, well, it is his fault, because I said it was. But yeah, if anyone's wondering why am I on YouTube and who do we blame, there you go, there's your answer. You blame the eclectic beard. And it's all his fault. He was the one who introduced me to the wonderful world that is YouTube. So once you have very lightly chose your sections of colour, which technically is all I did on these, I chose sections of colour. You let that dry again, and then you get your wraith bone and your big dry brush that you like, or in my case my big dry brush that I like. You've ordered the Volcano Medic 2. See, I've used the Volcano. For anyone who doesn't know what a volcano is, it's a medicinal cannabis device. And a standard volcano is about yay big with a big glass bowl on it. You take the glass bowl off, you fill the tray up with your medicine, and then you put the big glass bowl over it and it heats up and it essentially vaporizes rather than combusts your medication and fills up really nicely. And at that point, after it's filled up, you take your small little rubber hose and you take your dose of medicine. And it works quite effectively. It's very nice. Mick, I believe you will enjoy that. It can last a while as well because it keeps it semi-circulating while it's in there, so it doesn't go stale. So that's fun. So yeah, I think you're going to enjoy that. I know I did. Should I be saying that online? A bit late now, I suppose, isn't it? Oh well. It's a bit late. I've said it now. Oh, you've got the bag one that fills up. Now, you see, I didn't like the bag ones because they go stale. Unless you can one-shot your pill, so to speak. It goes stale too quick, far too quick. So I didn't like the big bag ones. I preferred the glass ones. The very, very old ones. You could also go for a vortex as well, which is kind of a self-pulling pipe, where you use gravity to provide the force to pull through. Yeah, the ones like Marge Simpsons. Yeah, those ones. You see them a lot if you watch any Amsterdam coffee house things. It's usually what they'll try and push you towards if you want to try something that's not combustion. I prefer combustion. I go combustion every time, so yeah, I'll stick with fire. Fire's a good one. Now we dry brush off our big brush, and now we hope this is dried enough for us to start very, very, very roughly dry brushing over the whole thing. Now you can see the difference from one side to the other. Once you've, in this case I'm circling it just to get all the edges, but I've not done that side yet. I'm just going to get my cup of tea from Sparkles. Thank you very much. Mainly because that bit of green hasn't dried. See that little bit? That little bit of green there. No worries, Ali. No worries. Thank you for coming back. You've come back into this one. It's like musical chairs. Now I know that's not fun for the streamer because I used to play musical chairs with a few people on their streams, and they've told me how not fun it is for them to try and keep up with my messaging on two different chat places. So I am aware that it is not always easy for some people. I, however, will do my best to keep up because it is the game that I made up. So I don't have much of a choice if people do it back to me. So there we go. We have gone from one white plain piece of foam, ta-da, to now a painted in piece of foam that will hopefully, oh no, well there we go. If that proves nothing else, it's that my painting styles have changed. Now this one looks very over brushed with the dry brushing. This one not so much. It looks very much more cartoony. This one's got much more of a cartoony look than this one. So there is one point of the difference between what I started, from when I started, I did this one 2 years ago, well, nearly 3, and obviously I've just done this one right in front of you so you can see, and that is a massive difference. Now I'm not sure which one I like better. Both have different aspects that I would prefer. This one being much more muted means it's got that slight more element of realism to me. This one being much brighter gives it the more cartoon element. Yes, if the crazies come back, I will tell them to fuck off again, Ali, and then you can boot them. So we all get to have some fun. Isn't that good? I'm not sure which one I like out of the two of them most now. And can I get either one to the stage that the other one's at? And if not, why not? What did I do wrong? What have I done different? That's confusing, that is. As I said, few years old, just done now. Now, is it a case of I just need to give it another dry brush? Just to put that extra layer over it? Or what is it? I'm not sure. So I'm going to go with another dry brush just to see if that is actually fixed for this to get them back to the same. Or get them looking roughly the same. Whoa there, horsey boy. And I don't mean Thrash, for those who know who Thrash is. I mean, whoa there, that was too bloody well thick. And was way too bloody much. Aha! That's much more like it now, isn't it? By the looks of it though, it will need a wash. Also, just to bring those dull bits, those really bright bits, down a little. But that is much more like it. It's still brighter, but it's more in keeping with the actual. Not a problem, Ali. If you find something new that you think I should know about, let me know. If you've tried it and it's gone, nah, it didn't work, fair enough. But I don't know, feel free to try. Feel free to try. Nothing happens if you don't try. That's Agrex. Don't want Agrex. I want. Not Agrex. Null Oil. And let's try Null Oil shade. Which means another brush. Again. I really need to sort my brushes out properly. I've got brushes all over the place. I don't even know whether it's clean or not, or what. Or if they're just battered. In this case, I think it's just battered. Now we can just get that nicely over the top. Hopefully that will help bring it back to more that colour. Or I'm going to get an entirely separate piece that just looks nothing like any of the others. And that'll prove that I have learnt nothing over 4 years. Because I cannot recreate a technique that I did. And it's not like I use difficult techniques. We know this. Lazy mini painting is, if nothing, about trying to get things done without much effort. We know this much. Oh, you want to... Right, yeah, the prompts I need to set up. So I have no prompt set up at the moment. So there is no... oh, what the friggin' hell is that? Exclamation mark Discord, for instance. You can't type that and it'll show the link to Discord. There is no exclamation mark Amazon to get the wish list or anything like that. Those should all be in the description down below. Now, if I was smart enough, I might actually be able to program those things in. As it is, I ain't that clever. In fact, all of you are probably better at doing streaming than I am. Because you have an idea of what things to do. Like set up prompts and things like that. Apparently I don't. I don't have these ideas. Nor do I have the skill to do it at this moment in time. So it becomes something else. It becomes something much else. See, you say one step at a time, Ali, but I have been doing this for 4 years now. I should have probably taken that step a while ago. In all fairness, though, I never really thought anything would happen with this channel. I thought I'd be lost to the ether and pushed back as far as YouTube could possibly push me. But apparently not. Apparently over 200 of you actually enjoy some of my content and enjoy coming to watch. So, yeah, that blew my mind. That completely... Yeah, no idea. I was having this discussion earlier with a potential guest for later on today, so for later on in this stream, so I'll wait just to see if it happens. If not, then I'll go into it. And if he comes up, then we'll talk about it then. So, let this dry. Now, hopefully this is going to dry something similar to one of these. I hope. If not, I don't know what I've just done or how I did this. So I'm going to have to go back and actually find the streams when I did these and try my damnedest to figure out what the fuck I did. because I like those. Those tiles are nice. Don't get me wrong. Those tiles are really nice. Even for their age, they are looking good, as far as I'm concerned. This new one, which I'm trying tonight to try and recreate this, I don't know what's happening. I really don't know what's happening. It's just not. It's not working. Or it's certainly not acting like the others did. We'll put that up there to dry for a moment. Now, we've been through scenery now, through the majority of the scenery of what I've made over the course of my 4 years, and what I've painted. Now, obviously, I've painted multiple parts. I've done pipe works. I've done four of the little generators, 2 of the big generators, the big green silo, the little green and blue silos. There are lots of Warhammer terrain that I have painted and built up over these 4 years. I just chose out the select choices to go, well, these are about average. Some look a bit better, some don't look as good, so these are the average ones. We'll show them. But when it comes to models, there is not much. I've either done a good job or I've not done a good job, and that will depend on how far back I was going. So, just to go back, hopefully far enough, we have the first iteration of Dungeons and Dragons characters that I did. Now, the names of 1 or 2 may sound familiar. And there are 2 iterations of the same character. Oh no, one of them's called Amber. Sorry, I forgot about that. One of them is called Amber. But round about that same time, I also picked up some Age of Sigmar models for just generic uses. Joe! I will expect very infrequent responses, man. Don't worry, enjoy the game. Thank you for showing up and coming in. Enjoy whatever the game is you are playing, and I hope you win. I do hope you win. So, at this time, about what? So we're definitely not in the 4-year section now. We're definitely in the 3-year section, which I suppose is good because I can't physically find a lot of the stuff I was doing 4 years ago. There he is! I was wondering where he went. Is there anyone else that I need out of here for the purposes of... Yes. There is you. And there is the pair of you, I believe. Yes, pair of you. No worries. See you later, Graham. You have a good night, mate. And please don't blow kisses at my missus. I'm jealous. Okay, so we'll go into my first jump into what would be Dungeons and Dragons for the time. So the first chance I had to do Dungeons and Dragons, and this was to play with Sparkles and my children, I actually bought some of the expensive Dungeons and Dragons models. Now these were ridiculous, so just to get the dwarf fighters, you only got the 2 in the box. Now this is my first iteration of Thos, which is a ridiculously tiny model of a dwarf with sword, shield and cape. Let's see if we can zoom in a bit there. That's better. So this is my first iteration of Thos. Nope, that's too far. I'm losing quality. Don't want to lose quality. Which, very basic silver, gold armour, leather trim. He does have a hammer attached to his side, down here. Very, very tiny one, But he's waving around it's actually a clear sword, which is why I've not painted it. It is you can see it's a see-through, so if I was to colour it or tint it, I would have to use speed paint, something that's semi-transparent, just so I can tint it as opposed to paint it. And we also have Sparkles' first character, which is Amber Mead. Now she also has a very big hammer. Redhead, lots of leather, and a nice wooden buckler. Now that was my first introduction into Dungeons and Dragons characters, along with Calm, who had his necromancer. Now again, they used the clear plastic there to represent magic, so I've not painted that in, obviously. But for the black and yellow and very silvery hair, which I thought was suiting for him at the time, it was Calm's necromancer. Also, Calm's daughter, who was playing with us at the time, who was playing as a Khajiit. Now, I've gone for, if I'd had the metallic medium when I'd done this would have been a whole lot easier. Instead, what I had to do with this one was paint it silver and then give it a wash over the top to get that kind of purpley blue panthery kind of colour, which I didn't completely fail at, but now I have I've got the metallic medium now, so I think I could do a better job. Sorry, what was that, Ali? Did I stay for all the draw? Yes, I did. I stayed for all the draw, but I don't think I managed to see the Luch in a ball. I didn't manage to see Luch in a ball. Now, most of these were painted with speed paints. Sorry, just getting back to the... Sorry, Ali, I was completely sidetracked and then jumped straight back in with just nothing to say. I didn't do it either. No, these were mostly painted with speed paints, except for the silver section. Again, any metallics were not done with speed paints, but most other things were for those models. It was my first introduction to speed paints, so I was just getting used to using them. I suppose that's one way to let me know that even though Discord doesn't beep beep on my computer, it does pop up with actual notifications. So if somebody does tag me, it does come up with a little 1 on it, which is nice. Now we have the first iteration of Sparkles Oak. Now this is a gnome sorceress? Gnome bard. No, this isn't the bard. Oh, right. I don't know where the bard is. Where's the... Oh, there's the bard as well, isn't there? Oh, shit. Where's the bard? Where's the second iteration of Sparkles Oak? This is the first iteration. No, this is the druid one. Right. This is the druid version of Sparkles Oak. Now, again, very difficult for me to paint because of the sheer size of her. And you can see that's my thumbnail. She is Diddy. She is tiny. And it was a pain to do, especially... Now, I don't know if this actually picks up on camera. It does if I tilt it just a little bit. You can see it goes from a nice brunette to a layered pink at the bottom. So, I don't know if that'll show a little bit better if I can bring it to the camera. I might have to try and get a decent picture of some of these. But there is pink in the base of the hair. That is the first iteration of Sparkles Oak. Sparkles just remind me that there is a second iteration of Sparkles Oak, which is the Bard. And the Bard was just as much of a pain for me to paint, and I can't remember where she is. Which means I'm in trouble. No, they are... Those are Squig Riders. Those are more of what I'm going to show off in a moment. That's a Necron that didn't get painted because it didn't need to at the time. Oh dear, where's Sparkles up though? Oh dear me. You may be in line for the first ever live YouTube murder at this rate.
What's it?
Yes, there was a bard. There was a bard because you got a loot attached to her back. So in this case, yes, I do remember there being a bard because as I remember painting it, and she is blonde with pink at the bottom of the hair, with a lute attached to her back, which I've lost. She is the same size. She is a gnome or halfling. So, yeah. Problem is, I can't remember where she is. There's a good possibility she'll be on my desk. But I wouldn't have let her go too far. I would not have let her go too far. I just have to make sure she's not in this box first. Before I go rooting around my desk, because my desk is not good for models to go on, really. They get lost very easily and very quickly. And I forgot about these little chaps. Oh, where's the other ones? Where's the other ones? There's one with that, there's one with that. Where's one of the special ones? Because these are supposed to go with the Squighog Riders, which I've not finished yet. There should be one with a net and one that's done a little bit more ornate. Where's one with the net? There's one. Okay. I can put this box away temporarily. Which means put it in the middle of the floor and hope nobody stands on it. Where is the second iteration of Sparkle's Oak gone? She's attached to a base. This is me getting all the stuff down from behind the cameras. Including Cam's jumpsuits and... Not a problem, Ali. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. And I've still not even caught up to this year yet, so I could be here for a while. I have Cam's jumpsuits to sort out there. I have tub of... I'm hoping she's not in here. I'm hoping she's not in here. Tub of potentially usable bits for now. And extra bits for the scenery that I still have to paint up, including the Fortress of Redemption and the Quilla Strongpoint, which are big, massive things. What's in here? Thank you very much, Ali. Thank you. And hopefully I'm going to be here for another 4 years. Fingers crossed it doesn't take me as long to build up the subscribers to do it, though. What on earth is that? Oh, that's... Right, okay, they're bits to go on top of other things. They're doors for land raiders. That's other bits for land raiders and vehicles. Grey Knight bits. Pardon me. So no, she's not in there. I mean, I do have quite a lot of stuff up here, so it is a good possibility she's got to be up here. That was going to be the bar for the Cthulhu, who's not yet been named. I'm just calling him a Cthulhu because that's what he looks like. Those are templates for making churches. That's extra sprues with helmets on and a skull for a... Oh, that's got a skull helmet for the Terminator Chaplain. Oh, look at that. That's got a skull helmet on. No worries, Joe. We'll catch you later, mate, and enjoy your supper. I hope it's something nice. I'm assuming it will be as you're making it yourself. You're not going to make yourself something horrible now, are you? Well, I would hope not anyway. Where is the Bard Sparkles? I have enough bloody models and stuff up here. And enough bits. So let's bring an orc down. And whatever he's supposed to be. I'm not sure what I can't remember what he is. Oh, he's a Dark Apostle's little side mate, isn't he? I remember now. Because there's the other one. The one that's basically a fancy book stand himself. He is a fancy book stand. Those are Terminator pieces. Or old Terminator pieces. Where is this? Where is she gone? Oh, this isn't funny anymore. This is not funny anymore, people. I'm finding more things that I didn't know I'd lost. But I can't find the thing that I'm looking for that I know I've lost. That's not a good combination of things. That is not a good way around to do it. My homemade white ink. Another tub of various bits. What do we have in here? We have Aquillas for radio masts. We have toolboxes. Have a las cannon. Oh, we have some of the bases. We have tips and endings for. Oh, we have potentially the whirlwind Terminator missile launcher. That's the one. Whatever that's called. We have odd, strange plasma guns. We have some strange. I have some strange bits that I really have no idea where some of them go. In fairness, some of them are just really bizarre. That's definitely a Grey Knight book, but she's not in there either. Let's move Lasgo out of the way for a moment. And while I can see down there, let's check she's not at the back of the desk. No, that's a Terminator and other things that have been used more recently. That's okay. Another big box of, I believe this is actually Necron parts. Yes, Necron parts. And this one we have lots of stuff that we never actually ordered or went to get. So the fact that I have them is... I have them, but... yeah. I don't really want them. That's all the cards for Combat Patrol so far. And I've actually cleared most of my back desk up there now, so I'm getting worried. We have half a Drago model, we have a Grumpy model, we have a Dopey model. We have various bits and pieces and parts. Ah, there she is! Found her! Let's just get rid of anything that's not supposed to be on her first. So she can come out in as close to her majestic glory as possible. For some reason she's got a little bit of something attached at base. And that is not a nice bit of something. Okay, so here we have the second iteration of Sparkles Oak, which is the Bard. Now, I did try to get the sunburst effect on the guitar. So we just move this over and zoom out a bit so that the camera can actually have a chance to... I did try to get the sunburst effect on her guitar, but she's also blonde with red tipped hair, which is weird and was difficult to do, along with the purple feathers in her hat. And people going, she's got feathers in her hat. Yeah, she has feathers in her hat, but as I said again, she's actually smaller than my thumbnail in this case. I can fully hide her with my thumb. She's diddy and tiny. But again, the tips are a different colour to the rest of the hair. The strings I didn't manage to get in properly. They were extremely hard. And some of the potions on a belt I did not manage to get in either. EB! Cheers, homie. Cheers for coming in. Let me put some of this out of the way because this is more recent stuff that I've not got round to yet. If you would like to come up, EB, and chat to us and explain to people why you unleashed me on them. I know. 4 years has gone far too quickly. I'm going to throw my headphones on though, if I can find them. And I will sling you the link again. Well, I've already told everybody that you're the one to blame. So they can scream and shout at you. And then they know exactly who to blame for it and who to... Yeah. Now, we had this before. And my talking's going to change. Because I can't listen to myself and talk for some reason. I don't know why. But let's go through Facebook. Oh, for God's sake. And we go find the eclectic beard. Give him the link so he can join. And now we'll wait on that screen. Because otherwise we can't see him. And there is a barrel that needs doing. I think I left this so I can put it on more scenery. So cut it at an angle and you've got 2 barrels. That is echoing. That is really echoing. And Sean stream. No, I believe. Are you there, Homer?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Right, let me just check the collab cam voice. Turn you up a bit. Try again.
I said, yeah, I'm here. How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. Mainly because I found this model. This tiny gnome bard.
Jesus Christ, yeah, that's small.
Yeah. But I had to find this because it's the Mrs. bard. And if I lose that, she not happy. Oh, you got a drink.
Yeah, I got a diet Mountain Dew. 0 sugar Mountain Dew.
Ooh. So what's the point in that?
I ain't got a fucking clue. It's wet and it's drinkable.
Fair enough. Sorry, he's just killing me off. He's only just got it. Oh dear. So where was it up to?
4 years on YouTube, I swear. And it was like pulling teeth to get your ass even jump up on a stream at one point in time.
Yeah. And then it became that easy that you just send me links and don't tell me.
I've done that a time or two.
Just once or twice.
Yeah.
But hey, it's me and you knew I'd just go into it. So I can't blame you. Because I would have done the same. It's like, who's going to turn up and not see their ass? The fact that I'm already alive. Laz'll do. Just send in the link and let him figure it out. Which he does. 10 minutes later.
Oh, we're live, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like, oh shit. Right, so that's the D&D characters. Now they were... Oh, when were they? I'm having to check my own channel. Just because I can't remember. 4 years does mount up, but if you don't do these little breaks, it merges into one big. When did I do that? And I can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine, dude. Yeah. Everything merging. That's definitely. Whew. You're not wrong on that at all. I can't tell you how many times I've went to go. I was like, "Oh, that looks like an interesting video." Shit, let me make sure I haven't reacted to it already.
It is. It's awkward. Now, where are these? It's not showing. That's Terminators. More Marines. Where are they? Oh dear God. Can anyone remember when I was painting D&D models? I hope you can, because I can't.
Haven't you been painting D&D models like a couple of times? Quite often?
Yeah. I've not started the cards. Well, I have. I've finished them. I've just not brought them out yet. It's bizarre. I'm going to have to turn that down. I'm echoing in my own ear. And we had the discussion about me and my voice. I don't like it.
Because you come through now. You're coming through. It's like I said earlier. You sound drunk.
Yeah.
Everything's elongated.
It's because it's going on in my head twice, and it sounds different.
Yeah, that's the reason why I don't know if I could wear. If I could, you've got to. Unfortunately, that's the thing. I couldn't have my headset plugged into like an XLR where I could hear myself and everything like that. That would drive me absolutely up a wall.
Yeah, it does me completely. You've seen how it throws me off.
Oh yeah.
How easily. But seeing as you mentioned them, let's just move you to one side for a minute. Now we're only going back about a year. Maybe a year and six months. And we had these. The Cats and Catacombs. The D&D cats. Which Sparkles had 12 of. No.
Tiny. Oh, bro, that's... Woo.
Yeah, 12. Now I'm going to take them out so I can actually tell you what they are. So, in Volume 1, we have Sparkles' favourite. We have Hester, the Abyssinian wizard, I think. Yeah. Abyssinian wizard. With, oh, goddamn light. Trying to get... Right, fuck you then. There we go. No. Focus. You buy a better camera and it doesn't do what you want it to. Or it did once. And ever since, it's not. So we have Hester. For anyone new, I will repost all these in Discord so you can see them a lot better than this. So we have the wizard. Who else have we got? Molly, the Lykoi, Lykoi. How do you pronounce that?
Ly what?
Koi.
Lycoi? I don't know. That's
Yeah. We'll go with that. And it's a rogue. And she is here. Now, Lycoi's are black. Very dark. But being a rogue, plenty of potions. So red, orange, blue, padded armor, bedrolls.
bedroom door to kiddos watching YouTube in the living room.
No worries. Also a blade attached to her arm, which I forgot about. So she is equipped with a dagger.
Deadly.
Not quite as the next one. This is Parkus, and it's a bobtail barbarian. Now, Parkus has nice green eyes, a big skull on one shoulder, and a fuck off great axe on the other side. Now, how a cat is supposed to use that, I'm not sure. But it's there. With a little cow logo, which is weird. So we have Parkus the Barbarian. Brooke, who is a Scottish folk cleric. Now, if I remember rightly, there's only one that took more than one sin. And that's mostly because I got not good news 5 minutes before the stream. News that certainly threw me for that stream. But we have Brooke, Whisper, who is a Sphinx sorcerer. Oh, this is the ugly skin cat. So you know them cats without fur?
Oh yeah. Like the
Sphinxes.
I can't remember the name of them now. Oh yeah, Sphinx.
Yeah, those type. That's one of them.
My stepbrother had one of those cats before. That thing was ugly as sin.
They are, aren't they? Very ugly. Because like you can see all the... It's gone. I missed what you said.
It looks like an old man's ball sack.
Yeah. Accurate. Very accurate. All the wrinkles and folds and...
Yeah, disgusting.
Not nice. Not nice. And finally, for Volume 1, we have Cleo, a Bengal Ranger. Which, yes, Bengals have stripes and little spots. Now, you won't be able to see that because it was a fucking ass to do in the first place. But I did manage it just. This is where the magnifying goggles helped. But, yeah, to get the Bengal Ranger, to get the stripes down the back of the legs and tail, that was not fun. Well, it was, but
so
fuck me.
I've got to hop out. Wifey's got home.
Okay.
Congrats on 4 years. Who knew that the
Thank you. Yeah, who knew?
that the guy who I made a mod that's a smart ass to the fucking supreme.
I don't get what you mean.
Actually getting on YouTube and starting his own shit.
I'm not smart.
You a fucking liar too.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Call me a smart ass and a liar. I am not a liar. Alright, I might be a smart ass.
Yeah, exactly. It's been fun watching you take and do this and having you hop upon my streams and the streams of JV.
Oh god.
Chaos that's on those at times. So
I'm just hoping there's one stream that's just lost in the ether, just gone.
Yeah. We've all woke up after morning after and crossed our fingers that nobody will ever watch those shits again.
Yeah, that particular morning, I woke up with cracked ribs.
Oh, god damn. So
Yeah, wasn't good.
4 years, and you finally hit 200.
Mm.
Like you should have way more, just because it's interesting to hear the shit you talk about, but also fun to take and watch you go through the process, especially with the combat patrol and explaining, breaking everything down and everything like that. So it's
Well, I may have sad news.
what?
Well, the last issue didn't arrive. I don't know if the next issue will. If I miss too many, I won't be continuing the series.
Oh, that sucks ass.
It does. For everybody but you. And
Why for everybody but me?
Because I have one Leagues of Votan model. And fuck all to put it with.
Yeah, that sucks.
But I believe you're going down that route.
Yep.
So if I don't get any more, there's a Carl. There's a leader. Power Fist, Volkite, Pistol. Everything but appreciated.
Just the fact they got space dwarves and put them in trench coats. Like, what more could you ask for?
Well, seeing as you mentioned that, go look at... I'll send you the link via Discord. And you can check out some more Space Dwarves. And don't forget to use discount code LAS10 at checkout.
Oh. Look at you, paired up and getting people discounts and shit.
Yeah. This is just because I buy from him. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. If anyone does go to Rogue's Den Hobbies and uses that code, I do get a little bit back, but it goes into a kitty that I can essentially buy from, rather than money in my pocket. It's not actually that way. There we go. So that's the link to the dice. You want the Space Dwarfs?
Sweet. Much appreciated.
And he does ship to the US and Canada and Europe. I don't think he's shipped to Africa yet. I know he shipped to me plenty of time. That's how I got my Terminators. That's how I got my 8-bound.
Oh,
That's
shit.
how I got my bear.
I love the Roughnecks.
Yeah, there's some good models. Very good models.
Oh, hell yeah. Is this the one that's creating his own game?
No.
That's somebody else.
That's somebody else. That's Joe.
Oh, okay.
And Joe's game is more void-faring fleet combat. So you ships and ships. And you've got things like forward-facing broadsides, shields, things like that. I'm yet to play it. But once Joe's ready, I'll let him send him one. He'll get my address eventually. I hope. If he asks again, he'll get it. But he's not in chat anymore. I don't think you're there. No. But, oh well. Sorry for keeping you a little longer than you said you were going to be here.
You're good. I appreciate you letting me up, and again, 4 years, and it was like pulling teeth to get you up sometimes. So
Well,
now when I get a notification, it says live. I just know it says Lazy Mini painting in front of it. So,
well, we have you to thank for a lot of this. As you said, it was
I
you who
mean,
dragged me
me,
up.
JV, and Blake all took and pestered your ass until you finally hopped up. So,
Yep. And that got rid of most of my anxiety being in front of a camera and microphones. And now, yeah, you've let me loose. Fucked a lot of years. It's your own fault. I'm here now.
it's all
Don't bother
good.
me.
Internet and YouTube is better for it, homie.
Well, yeah, we'll debate that another day. Whether or not me being here is a good thing. I've already told somebody to fuck off this stream out of the chat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, how did I? Oh, damn! I come in later than I wanted to, too.
Yeah. Somebody
Wife
came
said, "What's up, Laz?"
spouting shit. So I checked my time, made sure it was over 5 minutes, and then
Told him to fuck it. That's good.
literally told him to fuck off, get out. We don't want that shit here. And nobody cares who you pray to. So, fuck off. It was literally that simple.
That's the way to handle that stuff, man. I mean, you got to, otherwise shit devolves rather quickly.
It does. But Sparkles was there as well. And, well, she booted him halfway through my rant. So they didn't even get to hear it all. Just telling everybody else. And they've gone. Feel a bit bad now. No, I don't. Who am I shouting? Fuck that.
No, you don't. I was about to say, see, lying again.
No, I don't feel bad.
No.
In fact, it was fun. It was fun. But
it's kind of cathartic whenever you tell the trolls off. But yeah,
I'm
gonna get out of here. You have a nice rest of the stream.
Well, I'm going to go for a quick break. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, man.
And whenever you want, you are welcome. You know this.
Oh yeah.
But say hi to wifey for me and kiddos.
Laz says hello.
Holy still picks her up. I've got you turned down. That shouldn't have picked her up. I could still hear it. I think it came over the Atlantic and not through my headphones. Don't tell her I said that. Jesus. There'll be another thing coming over.
You know me too fucking well.
Yep. Hey, Laz said you got a big gaff. You can shout over the ocean.
Have a good one.
See you later, homie.
Later.
So yes, that is the eclectic beard. And now that I've not got my headphones on, I can talk normally again because I've not got me talking down my own ears. Really, really, really weird. If you've not experienced talking to yourself, but not talking to yourself and hearing yourself in your own ears as you're talking, it is a surreal experience, a really surreal experience. But as I did say, I am going to go for a quick break. These 2 hours has just shot by. I've still got Cats and Catacombs Volume 2 to go through, along with any of the AOS stuff that I picked up for using with D&D, and I've not even started properly on 40k yet. I have no idea how long this stream is going to last, but thank you everybody who's come here. If you want to hang on for a bit longer, I'll try not to be too long, but yeah, I do need to go for a small break, so I will see you soon, hopefully. Not too long. But while that's on, I'm going to try and put some kind of music up in the background. So let's go with... Now I'm sure did I make a playlist? I forgot to save the playlist. So in that case, we're going to go for this one.
Your technology drives business. We make sure it never stops. Que nunca se detenga.
Muy bien. Detenga.
Let's try without it, but that should be me back now. Thank you for waiting for anyone who did. Anyone who's come and joined and just happened to join during my break. Sorry, Pete. I needed it small. Let's just call me a nicotine addict, eh? Let's not hide it, sugarcoat with anything. I smoke. Don't do it, it's not good. It really fucks up your lungs. And welcome back, Twisted. Oh, did not mute desktop, because desktop just causes unbelievable amount of fucking feedback and all sorts of bad stuff. Now that I can talk properly again, because I'm not listening to myself, as me and Evie found out earlier, that I can't talk normally if I have my headphones on and I can hear myself. My ability to speak, gone. So if you all laugh, go back and listen to me talking with EB and before talking to EB, and you'll hear the difference. But yes, Twisted, you did also miss EB, so your chance to berate him and shout at him for being the one who brought me to YouTube, you missed that opportunity as well. But back to where we're up to. So Sparkles, as I said, got 2 sets of these. She got issue volume 1 and volume 2 of the Cats and Catacombs. So we have volume 2 here. Questing Tooth and Claw. I believe these are still available, and you can get some other cats as well now. Let's take these ones out. Pop them there for the time being. And turn this over so we can actually see what we've got and what we're dealing with. So in volume 2, now again, everyone except for, we'll start with the one that took more than one session, which was Solon, Persian Warlock. Now it took more than one session for a couple of reasons. Don't bang things on my cup. It's not a good idea. Now it took more than one for a few reasons. One, as I said, I'd received news just before I went live to start painting this one that changed my mental space. I wasn't prepared and ready anymore to be painting. So I got the basic fur tones down and the purple. Then I realised how many greeblies and little bits and bats and other little things that this lovely creature had on them, including the little gold headband with a little stone in the middle and lots of little red stones around the back here. Now you can't see them on this camera because for some reason this camera doesn't want to show anything that I want to show on it. I don't know why it never does, but I could really do with taking a better picture of all of these, especially now that I have a good enough camera. So we have Solon, the Persian Warlock. And since we started on the bottom row, we'll continue on the bottom row. We have Verdandi, the Norwegian forest cat, who is a druid. Now Verdandi is very earth tone based, with nice green and purple sections. But the staff, and it's not showing up there even though it is actually blue, is a very transparent blue and looks almost like there's some swirling energy going in on that section. Now the underside is obviously shaded to not be as bright as the top section, so all the fur up here is very, very bright, including the face, and then all the fur down there is very, very dark. So it was my first kind of trialing using light sources. It was a rather interesting one. Next we have Barnabas, who is a Korat cat and is also the paladin of the group. Now Korats are dark grey, as I found out, or damn near black. Usually blue-eyed as well. With him being a paladin, lots and lots of metal, lots and lots of armour, and a sheathed sword, which I'm still querying how these cats use weapons. I've not figured it out yet. So we do have the Paladin. Again, this camera's not been great for showing an extra small detail. I don't know why. It usually is quite good. Now for the top row. We have Sonia, who is a Maine Coon. Good evening, Lee. Good evening. Now you popped in earlier and I didn't notice you. Did you pop off for a little bit? If you did, fair enough. I just don't remember. But thank you for coming back. So yes, we have Sonia, the Maine Coon fighter, sat on a very nice pile of books, obviously different colours, red, green and a purple, with a ball of twine between her legs and a nice green sash. Looks like she's playing with a dagger there as well, which the sheath is just here above the base of above the nape of the tail. One of the more fun ones to paint, actually, with the brown and the white crest coming down the neck. Next is Han, the Dragon Lee monk. Which again was a bit of an interesting one to paint. Has spare fish hanging from the belt, of course. Lots of, I don't know if the blue's showing up, but I don't believe it is. Blue stitching along the leather straps, because they can't particularly wear armour, but they can wear some like braces and things. And a very big, essentially quarterstaff. Again, monks not using too many weapons. And a ball of twine, of course. Has to be attached there at the back, a nice ball of twine. All cats need twine to play with. And finally we have one of the more awkward. Just as fun, but more awkward. Which is the last one for a lot of them. And this one is Indy, the ragdoll. So she is very bright and white. But she is a bard. Now, if you can see the slight shine there, just going on here, that's actually the strings for the lute. So at the right angle, you can see it's brown. But again, if I just shimmer it in the light, you can see the silver that I've painted the strings. Now, she is very ornate, with a purple and pink ruffled sleeves. Lots of pouches and holsters. And a very, again, very ornate leather and gold armour. Certainly one of my favourite cats that I got to paint during this period, including a little pink nose. I'm actually thinking, do I have a picture of these in finished models? If I can find a picture in finished models, which is going to be a fucking time ago at this rate, because there's so many models up there. I've been putting other stuff up, such as all the characters from Sparkles and Oak that I've finished so far, as well as no, they're not in there. Okay, that means they're going to be way far up in here then, aren't they? Really far up in the work in progress section. So while I'm scrolling with one hand, I can actually be putting them away with the other. So if I can get a big enough picture to show, I will share it on the screen so you can see a larger picture of them. The thing is, with the work in progress section of my channel, of my Discord, there is a lot of work in progress that people have been posting. Silvers, Twisted, Graham, me, Lee, you've been posting quite a few things in, including your signal boxes have just gone past. This proves how fast I'm not going through these works in progress. We also have Silver's nice, very nice Nurgle Titan. All Graham Space Bears. And the Space Bears that I purchased to turn into proxy models. Oh dear, how many are there? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There is a lot here, isn't there? I didn't realise how much was in this section. When I click jump to current, it's going to take a while, I think. I might just start working down through this page and go, right, this is this one, this is this one, and this is this one. It might be the quicker way to do it. I should have had all this done, really. I know. I do apologise. I'm not very well organised. But then again, if this isn't your first time, you will realise and remember that I'm not very well organised. Where are the cats? Where are they? I mean, there's Lavarus. But Lavarus is in finished models, so I will get the picture from there because he's too big for me to get out right now. He's very, very firmly locked at the bottom of the big box. Hopefully no damage has come to him, but it shouldn't because I have put a lot of foam around him. Where on earth are my kitty cats? I know I've posted pictures. I know I posted pictures. Because people told me to post pictures. And I did these before Lavarus. Lavarus is my great big whopping bear. For those who have not seen him, you will do soon. Once I move over to the 40k side of today's stream. Nope, that's the Eldar. A nice big collection of Eldar that I've not even started painting yet. It's Lavarus before his base was finished. Oh wow, I have so much. Okay, that's when I got the models for Sparkles and Oak. And that's my progression through Lavarus. Cases. Nice little unit there. Oh wow, the knife that Ali asked me to paint for Daniel Arias as well. Aha. Nope, that doesn't help. That's a bit better. Okay. No worries. I've got, as I said, did lots in the work in progress section. So don't worry about that. Window capture. No, not window capture. Is it? What's the source then? Display capture? Nope. I have done this before. Believe it or not, I have put different sources in before. No. See if that one does what I wish it to do. No, it does not. No, it does not. It does not do what I wish it to do. I've found a picture now that's actually clearer to show the kitty cats off. But I can't, for some reason, find out how to actually put it onto the screen. You know, like I've done many times before. Nope, that is the wrong one. As is that one. We don't want any of them. We do want to go check Discord is in fact open. And now let's see if it'll add Discord. No. This is strange. This is very strange. So let's bin that again. How did we do this last time? I mean, really, I've forgotten. How did we do this last time? Add new source. I forgot to disable that one? Possibly? Aha! There we go. So we now have... well, hopefully. There we go. Now there are many people looking on the vertical cam that won't be able to see. So going from this, if you're on the vertical cam, we're going from right to left, top to bottom. So in that case, at the top right, first of all, there is Sonya, who is the paladin. Below them is the rogue, which is Molly, the Loki rogue. And then it is Whisper at the very bottom, who is the Sphinx sorcerer. And stood in the little middle on their own, that would be Verdandi, the Norwegian forest druid. And then right at the top is Indy, the ragdoll bard. At the bottom there with the green rim round the neck, that is Brooke, the cleric. Now, here we have Hester, who is over to the far right now, who is the Abyssinian wizard. At the bottom, we have... where have they gone? Oh, yeah, Solon, the Persian warlock. Next to Solon is Cleo, the Bengal ranger. Above them both is Porcus, the barbarian. Then it is Sonya, the Maine Coon. Sonya, the Maine Coon fighter, who is the orange sat on the books. And in the very top left corner is Han, the Dragonly monk. So that should help just for people who haven't seen them before. Just so you know what it is I was showing. Again, if you want to go into Discord to get a better look at them, please feel free. If not, then obviously that's as good as I can get on my stream at the moment. I'm going to pop those back over onto there. As I said, before I go into the Warhammer 40,000 section, we're going to carry on with essentially the D&D conversions from Age of Sigmar. Now, some of them I bought many, many moons ago, especially the Orcs and the Stormcast Eternals I bought early on in the magazine. They were one of the first few, and I bought them for the sole purpose of having NPCs in a D&D game, some big autonomous armor or some large semi-giant because of the size of the base. Now, all wielding spears with pencil-drawn lightning bolts. Now, they were weird and hard to do, but if you can get it in your hand and look at it, you can realise that they're there. If not, you will not have a clue. Simple purple shields with white faces, where the Sigmar face would be, and gold trim around the actual face. Bright gold trim around the face, and Retributor armour for the actual armour. Now, I did get several of those. Some have more stages of washing than others. No kidding, it's 12 o'clock. Along with those, I also picked up some Oryx. Now these are the redone Orcs, which are much skinnier, with the squig face shields and long spears. Same principle was applied to these. I got these again to act as NPCs for D&D, not to play Age of Sigmar. So again, 2 of those, and I do have the big leadery guy that goes with them, so I can put a leader with these. Now you also get the goblins that go with that side of the Oryx, which are, in this case, this one's actually smoking a cigarette with a very crude grenade and dagger. Not much armour going on. Big sword at the back. Now they do look very squat, but they're not the traditional goblins that you would expect from Games Workshop. Those would look more like these. Now these I painted red because I didn't want them to be Games Workshop related models. I wanted them to be very specifically what would be my own little goblin raiding party. So they are red skinned with purple shields, with the bad moon symbol being now purple. But with them I managed to get a selection, quite a selection. So some are like pickaxes and clubs, some have spears and shields, some have bows, so they can attack from range but no shield, and there are a couple even, because these are a slaver's warband, so they have purple poison tip claws on their nets, but they do have nets to throw over you and capture you. So should you be unlucky enough to bump into one of a group of these, again another one with a stabby as opposed to a clubby, and a quite overcompensating leader. A very overcompensating leader. Now there are 2 leaders. I believe this one's actually more the spellcaster, so more the shaman, and there is another one to go with them. In total there are about 20, and then there are 5 squig hoppers which are going to go with them, but I made a mistake of using my airbrush with speed paints with those, and it has gone horribly wrong. I'm going to have to strip them down and start again. Not fun. But yes, those are my goblins that I also got round about the same time that I got the Oryx and the other goblins. But there is a huge difference between the 2 goblins, see? Just in height and stature and how they just present themselves. I still prefer the little small type. But hey, if I've got some of the big type, that is awesome. I'm not going to complain. But keeping on the Age of Sigmar theme, I did also get... What was that? Nothing too bad, that's great. I did also get 2 of these, which are the chariots for Age of Sigmar. Let's move my light back a bit so it's possible to see. Now, doing the Griffhounds. Good evening, Beaky. Good evening. I followed your advice, and Sparkles has given my cup a once over. Even though it's not on camera, it's not as bad as it used to be. See, it's okay now. I can drink out of it. It doesn't look like it's going to be contaminating me for anything particularly bad. Trying to get the boned horn section on the top was particularly difficult to get them to match, but it wasn't too bad. Plenty of wash over all the gold, of course, helps to blend it all in. There is, for some reason, they have started to come apart a little bit, but they were easy build, so you can't really complain there. And I did get 2 of them, however this second one has not been painted yet. I'm still deliberating whether or not to do 1 red, 1 blue, and do it so I can race them. But again, going back to when I started, these were one of the first few models that I actually did on the channel. They turned out okay. Again, if I was to go back and do the other version, the red version, I believe I may end up getting something that looks a little bit better. But that is the end of the Age of Sigmar set. So let's see how this... Now it's dried, and it's very shiny. It has lost most of its colour. So that will mean that it'll probably need another dry brush once it's not sticky. And it's dried, but it's still a little bit tacky in areas, which is not good. So once that's dried a little bit more, I'll catch in the green and the brown areas again, and then I'll go over with another dry brush. But wow, that was hard. That was harder to recreate than I thought it was going to be. Where are the rest of them gone? I know I had them. Well, go and speak to them in there, Kitty. They are. They're in there. Go and ask them. And tell them you want biscuits. So with the two side by side, yeah, you can see that one's looking a lot wetter and still got that cartoon element compared to this one. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get around that. I'm not sure how I got this effect easily over these three. I'm guessing because I did them at the same time. But I can't recreate the effect on this one. So it goes to show, sometimes you need to take note of what you're doing, write stuff down, or remember which video you did it on. But that is the end of the D&D scenery section. Now we have the 40k section. Oh dear Lord, I didn't think about this one. Now the 40k section, as many of you will know, is my biggest section. So this is where I start pulling out boxes and trying to figure out what's in them and how many things I've got and what I've not done yet and what still needs sorting and things like that. Like that box, got nothing in it for use. Nothing at all. But this box should have plenty. Let's move this out of the way because we don't want any of that to get damaged. I've got a post that tomorrow. Yes, all the laughing in the background that you can hear are my children. They've come down to make themselves a cup of tea. So, yay. A cup of tea. Not quite sure why that's just happened, but we'll find that out afterwards. We'll figure it out later. Stuff happens all the time, and I don't always know why. What tickles a teenager so much so that they laugh like that? Don't know. No idea. There will be things that I didn't want to fall off landing on my foot. So let's grab the big box out. Well, the medium box out. Which should have Space Marines in it. Hopefully enough Space Marines for me to... crunch. For me to be able to actually show you some of the older ones compared to the newer ones. Now I am actually looking for a specific set of Space Marines, if I can find them ones. This box does not have Space Marines in. This box has Orcs. Now that's not what I was expecting. I mean, really not what I was expecting. I thought this box would have had Space Marines in other than the Scouts I was using for Necromunda, which aren't even painted up properly. So that was the wrong box to get out. Let's try another one. try another one. There is only one more to try, really, because it's the great big whopping one. Unless there's something in here. Nope, this is yet to be built Orkies and spare parts for Eldars and other things. So that is not the right box either. I have far too many boxes with far too many models in. It's getting difficult to keep track now. I thought the Space Marine Terminators were all in here. Turns out I was wrong. Not for the first time, but hopefully for the last. Lasting a while anyway. So what's in this box? Which I have been neglecting for many, many a moon. In this box we have more Space Marines that need building, and so we have a Lieutenant with shield and sword. We have 1, 2, 3 more Captains in Terminator armor, and we have a set of Assault Intercessors. Okay, we seem to be missing a base for the Lieutenant, and potentially a base for one for Terminators and Terminator Captains. But we do have the bases for the 5 Assault Intercessors, so that's good. But those are all models that I've not even put together, never mind painted. Now the Assault Intercessors may be being converted into Assault Intercessors with jump packs if I'm not happy with some of the standard Assault Marines. When I come to convert, because I do have a lot of converting to do over the next year. I have the Desolation Marines, I have the Assault Marines to either repaint up, redo, or convert. Now, this means I've got to get the big box out. And in case you're wondering what the big box looks like, the big box looks like this. This is the very big box. And it's only got Space Marines in it. It's got nothing but Space Marines in this one. So turn it around the right way. Couple of clips. And this means I should at least be able to find Intercessors, Assault Intercessors, and early painted models. I hope. Aha, there we go. It's an early painted model. That's not as early, that's quite recent. That's an early painted model. That's a very early painted model. I'm just pulling out a few right now that are definitely from the earlier side of my painting, so there's no misunderstanding from me as to which ones are which. Nope. Aha, there he is. One of my earliest painted captains. Now let's put them back in that side and see if we can get some of the other stuff out. The Sparkles is upstairs now, so I should be safe to a limited degree as long as I can get them all put back neatly. And yeah, let's take out this one as well, which is actually one of my self-named sergeants. Now if you have a specific penchant for a certain model, please let me know, because I have plenty of models that and characters that could be named, and plenty of models and characters that are not named, or that have been named. Where has he gone? There he is. My first one of those, which is still probably one of my best painted Space Marines to date. As well as one of those. And a newer model. I need a newer model. If I'm going to get older models, I need newer models. What are you? Are you the chaplain? No. Where is my Terminator chaplain? Because he's a very recent model. I didn't get him long ago compared to the rest of them. Stern Guard. Do I have my Stern Guard? Do I have any Stern Guard? Come on, give me a Stern Guard. Nope, you're all Phobos. And you haven't been finished yet. They have not been finished. My Phobos Marines still need to be completed. But I thought I put all my Stern Guard models together. I did. So these are more recent, and as I said, we will go through them in a moment to see what the difference actually is. I just want to get through to the bottom layer, because the bottom layer is where the big stuff should be. In theory. And it's not. The bottom layer is not where my big stuff is. Where are my tanks? Oh dear, where are my tanks? Well, we can pull him out. And we can pull him out. Because again, more recent models. And we'll take him out as one of the older ones. Should we take him? Or should we take him? We will take him, but I'm going to take one of the others as well. Hopefully one without the broken stand. Yeah, he'll do. Now I'm worrying, where are my vehicles? And Dreadnoughts, Repulsor, Impulsor. I have vehicles. And I don't know where my vehicles have gone. That is not a good sign, people. That is not a good sign. They are big, whopping, great big. Yeah, they're huge fucking models. So where are they? If they're not in this case and they're not in the other case, which bloody case are they in? What's catching? Something's catching and not going in. There we go. Takes a bit of force to shut this one. But it'll always go if you force it. Well, it'll either go or it'll break. One or the other. In this case, it's gone. It's gone in. It's done what it's supposed to. So, coming back again to look at old models compared to new. So I have the first set of, essentially, these are the Hellblasters. As you can see, very bright. Not much in the way of any form of detailing. As well as the Blade Guard Ancient. Again, needs a lot of work doing on them, including the crotch cloth, the hand. I thought I finished some of these, but apparently not. I've got to go back through a lot of the other ones. Basic intercessors. Now, ones with Auspex scanners, which I know I've not done the screen on yet, which I do need to do the screen on. Quite clean, actually. Cleaner than I thought I'd got them. And one that's much more finished, which I think this one is actually Joey. Yes, this one's been named after Joey from Square Table Degenerates. You've seen him in the chat, and he's been up here a few times. Again, not the best in the world. There has been some highlighting gone on there. There's some slight, just lines on like the pouches, across the top of the knees, bottom of the pad, around the neck, across the top of the head and the backpack. You can see there are some slight highlighting sections. And of course, the Librarian in Phobos armor. Now, this one I got to paint thanks to a subscriber who's not been in for a while, actually. Someone who I enjoyed speaking to, both on and off stream, before I even started my YouTube career. They got me the contrast paints, which I used mostly on this one to get the green right. And this is the first Phobos Librarian that I painted. Again, still one of the better models that I've actually painted in total. And my first Gravis Captain, with the blue outside and gold trim and the kind of ivory-ish inside, the gold trim. Way too heavy on the highlighting. Way too heavy on the highlighting. Because I've got it all across the plates, but I've not got the little vents at the sides. Too neat on the panel here. This definitely needs a wash. Not too bad on the backpack. And yeah, the face needs finishing off with the eyes and just a couple of little accents. So when I first started, I wasn't going through a lot of the detailing sections. I was missing a lot of the details that I wasn't confident in doing. I did catch some of them, like the skulls on swords and some of the ones on the helmets, but I was missing a lot of the details early on. Now we have another captain. Now this one is the captain with the shield and sword that you would have got from the Indomitus box, I believe. I want to say Indomitus, not Leviathan, because Leviathan is one where we got the Terminator captain and the Librarian, Terminator Librarian. But again, although I've blocked in all the colours correctly, there's a lot of highlighting and subsections and little sections that need actually painting. So if I take his hand off for a minute, you can see he's got something dangling here from his wrist. I've not painted that. Now that would need going gold or metallic, along with a lot of the back of the shield, a lot of the front sections of his crotch cloth. Now I have briefly gone over them with metallic, but I could do with brightening up a little bit more, as well as actually painted in the cloth sections here down the front of his armour and the actual part that drops down as a loincloth. So again, going back, I was missing a lot of the details. Too many, in fact, too many. So we come to a more modern version of the models that I've been painting. Oh no, let's go back to again, this is kind of a midway through. So I've started doing some more of the detail. So the gold little dangly chain, the hourglass, trying to get the textures right on the leather, as well as the little purity seals that are scattered all over these people. Everywhere all over these people. The highlighting was a little bit easier on him as well, with it being mostly being able to dry brush because it was just raised surfaces. It wasn't too bad from that. So this one I pulled out specifically because this is EB. There are a few people that have models named after them, Joey being one of them. Dorito, if you watch Dorito and the Lucha Cabra or Lucha Mob Garage, either one of those, you'll be familiar with Dorito. He also has a model named after him, but this one is specifically EB. This is the head taker, the swing first, ask questions later guy. Has one shoulder pad and carries a big sword over his other one. So yeah, it was a bit of a mid-grade model for this one. Again, I think I could do a little bit better, but not much. I could go from the base from here and just build up, whereas some of these, yeah, like the Ancient here, practically nothing done on him. Again, missing details. I've not even filled in his second shoulder pad in his case, actually, or his bolt gun. It actually showed me how much I've missed, how much I should have done previously, and how much I need to go back and do. This is quite enlightening. I'm going to have to pull out all my Space Marines and look at them again, just to make sure I've got them right. So there was one banner, and obviously we have the other banner that I showed you a moment ago. So there's a couple of different types of banners that I will need to go back and look at. Now, going from the two captains, which, yeah, I did an okay-ish job on. I'm not saying I've done a bad job, I just need to do more. We'll go for a couple more leaders. Now, this is the Terminator Chaplain. Now, he has had a lot more done on him. A lot more. He's had his purity seals done, he's had the accent for the paper from the purity seals gone through. All of them, in fact. He's even had the icons on his legs, his shoulders, his wrists. Pretty much everything that needed picking out for him has been picked out, including his rib cage to make it stand out from the rest of his armour, and the tiny little crux in the middle of his belt, and the crux terminatus, which is actually on his shoulder pad, gold and ivory. Now coming to one of the more recent models that I've painted, which in this case is the Librarian in Terminator armour. Now, a lot more time went into this chap, because you can see there is multiple colours on his weapon, multiple colours on his shoulder pad, as well as around his head. On both shoulder pads I've had a lot more detail put on, as well as any of the extra little bits, and even the runic lines in his armour have been coloured in this case. So as I've been going through, I have been more confident, apparently, to pick out more detail. That's always a good thing when you've been doing something for a while, is to get more confident with it, I suppose. Now I'm just going to have to go back and realise, oh shit, I can do better on all the ones that I didn't do better on. But yeah, there is the Librarian. Now he's very bright compared to some of the others, with all his psychic power bubbling away underneath. He even managed to get his book done on that one. Oh, where's the Chaplain on a bike? He's probably one of my best models, but he's going to be stuck with the vehicles, and I don't know where my vehicles are. I mean, if I was to look at the floor right now, Sparkles is going to kill me. And I'm about to wonder where more vehicles are, where more models are, where more things are. Now, I don't want to break anything though when I move, and it's all going to be in that there cupboard behind me. Most of the stuff I've got out has either been from the kitchen corner section where I put my scenery, or under my desk where I keep most of my more collected armies. So my Space Marines, my Tyranids, in this case some of my Orcs as well. Everything else though is in that cupboard there, and I don't know which box has got the vehicles in. Shall we find out? I think we should. Lavarus deserves to come out, because he is a big part of how I've developed over the more modern part of the channel. So let's see what's in this cupboard here, shall we? Well, they're not going to be in that bag because that bag's all sprues, I can see that. You sit on the table. It's not going to be in this bag because this bag is all foam. Foam offcuts, foam bits, clamps, and not models is essentially what it boils down to, is not models. So that means it's going to be in one of they're going to be in one of two places because it's the only two places that can fit them all. They're either in the slim black case or they're in the slim green case. So we're going to try the slim green case first because it's the more difficult to get out. And if that comes out nice and smoothly, which it did, nice, I can grab the black case at the same time and save myself a lot of effort. Now the astute among you will have realised that I've not mentioned many other armies. I've mentioned Tyranids, I've mentioned Space Marines, but I haven't mentioned all the others. And there is a reason for that, is that because I've not actually got round to doing all the others at all in any way, shape or form over the period of time that I've been doing it. Haha! Here we go. We have found it. So, over that same period, I've also had a vehicle to paint. And then we've had the absolute beast that I got, I believe, round about, was it November last year? Which will let us know basically when we got Lavarus. And that's when I started that project. So I shall bring both him and my repulsor. So now that I found out, these are in the green case. Must remember, these are green case, not black case. So let's keep it official still first. And this was done way before I did Lavarus. So this is the repulsor. And in keeping with my personal army theme, which has name changed now, it was the Stone Dragons, these are now the Stone Bears. We have the repulsor for a nice transport. Lots of little green accents. Now again, this is going closer to where I am today. Although this one was well over a year, 2 years ago. Because I've had this for a while. Now, some of the bits are glued in, some of them are not. So the las talon can be taken out, or the twin las cannon can be taken out of the front. And if it wants to, sometimes it can go back in as well. And the two storm bolters can be taken out the sides, and the main turret with the heavy onslaught Gatling cannon, the onslaught Gatling cannon can be taken off the top as well. I know that is the heavy onslaught Gatling cannon, and that's the onslaught Gatling cannon there. So there is both options available. Now it doesn't have any sponsons on this one at all, which is a bit of a shame. But again, as I was saying earlier, as I've got better at painting, I've come back to do more details on them. So Aquila's signs on boxes, Aquila's on really small Aquila's on other things. I'm trying to make sure I get all the vents and all the bits, even if they're going to be underneath any of the antennae or antennas. Getting multiple colours put on them along with the onslaught cannons, just to make them stand out that little bit more. And of course all of the anti-grav plates, engines and lights, which are all nice and green. Ridiculously nice and green. Put that back into that box for now. As I said, we also have the model that I got commission printed for me because I wanted a bigger version than normal. Now we have obviously Lavarus. Now this is an attempt at painting fire as fur, which didn't work 100% as well as I wanted it to do. Nowhere near, to be quite honest. But the claws turned out pretty alright. And the heat sections where he's walking, they also turned out not too bad. Where it's actually heating up the floor as he's moving forward, as well as the brightness from his mouth. Because nice big lava bloody bear will be hot on the inside. So again, a really fun model that I got to do. This one was purchased from Rogue's Den Hobbies, just as my 8-bound were, if you've been watching those more recently. And bit of a dead Space Marine there on the back, just to help embellish the base. Definitely one of my favourite models to paint, and one of my favourite models in my collection. Just a fun model in general. But as a comparison, once I did have to paint my other dreadnoughts as well, which in this case we have a small box dreadnought here. Again, there's a lot that I need to pick up because I painted him way before I painted this one, so things like the purity seals, a lot of the detailing, the lights, some of the skulls, even the colour of the bolters still need to be picked up. So expect a relook at Space Marines coming next year, as I work through which ones I have and which ones I need to build up more. Now I'm now missing a Redemptor Dreadnought and a Ballistus Dreadnought, as this is the replacement for the Brutalis. So I'm still missing 2 Dreadnoughts. Now, are they in the black one with other things? Let's find out, shall we? Okay. So now we can go through what I did with my bikes, which were the Outriders. Very flat black on the actual black that's part of them. Very flat. Well, not very flat silver. The silver did get a wash, but practically no detailing. Practically nothing to make anything else really stand out apart from the blue, the red and the silver. There's been very little done on this to help it. That being said, we have the other end of the spectrum. We have the Chaplain on a bike. Now this one has been fully done with ivory, highlighting, bolters being done, let's just the other dreadnoughts are not going to be. I'm not going to add that comparison to it, so they are nothing compared to Lavarus at the moment. They have not got the detailing in there at all. So that's a couple of them. Both of them have barely been painted, so it wouldn't be a fair comparison. This, however, is quite easy to do because he is a chaplain, so his bike stays majority black. However, you can see just the amount of extra colour, the amount of extra detail that I've put into, including the skull, any accents on the skulls down his chest, all of everything, including a skull on the side of his bike here that I didn't even realise. Everything's been done in purity seals, his Crozius, the book itself, which is a very slight dark green along with the white pages, compared to what is a very, very basic job on the Outrider. There is a huge difference. That is a massive difference. Okay. So we've gone from no highlighting to lots of highlighting, or lots more highlighting. Probably I wouldn't do that amount of highlighting, but apparently I do get better at it as I do it. So, but on the same side, we also have the Tyranids. Now the Tyranids are a different kettle of fish entirely. Those I painted predominantly with speed paint. Actually, no, not even predominant. Yeah, predominantly speed paints and dry brushing. That was it. That's how I painted my Tyranids. Luckily I have some that are partway through painted, so I can show you before the last dry brush, and I have some that are finished painting, so I can show you after the last dry brush. I'm very lucky in that instance at the moment. So my Tyranids, let's just pop him there for a second. My Tyranids have very basic colour scheme. It is green, purple and yellow. Now this is before the dry brush. So it's very flat, shiny, bold block colours. As you can see, all the green stands out as very bright green. Purple, there is nothing in it apart from whatever light puts onto it, and the yellow. Yellow works okay actually as a contrast. However, if you use the Army Painter Speed Paints 1.0, not the new ones, the old ones, you can do this with them. Now when you dry brush your ivory, it adds a lot of the highlighting tones and highlighting layers for you, so it's not as bright, it's not as in your face, it's not as gaudy. It tones them more together, so that even over the panels, if we can bring that up there, even over the panels you can see the lines, and you can see extra sections, and all the raised areas show up lighter, all the deep recesses show up darker, and you can even get right in for it even helps emphasize the yellow as well. So whereas that yellow is still quite bright, this one is dulled down a little bit more, not much, because the yellow's quite a strong colour on its own, so it doesn't really get rid of much on there. But the greens certainly benefit from it. As you can see, just with a dry brush, you can see the line down the edge there. Now you can see the spikes even clearly on this level of camera. The Tyranids were a very easy army to get right because of that technique. Now, obviously, that technique was thought of, worked on, got everywhere, and then disappeared, all during the lifetime of my channel. Some of you may have heard of it. The basis is what is known as slap chop, but that's just how I use the setup. Painted black, dry brush at ivory to find out where the light sections are in the raised sections, and then blocking the colours where I need them to be. Dry brush again over the top just to get the highlight. And because of the Army Painter Speed Point 1, it reactivates the paint, so it blends it nicely in. I've done quite a lot over these 4 years when I come to think about it. There's about 12,000 points worth of Space Marines that I've painted. Just over 3,000 points worth of Tyranids, so around about 3,000 points worth of Tyranids. Along with all the accompanying accessories and other units that have gone with it. So, as I said, the D&D characters that have come along during that time. The Sparkles on Oak project that I started at the beginning of this year. There's been lots of other things keeping me going. Obviously, the one that I've just shown you was a very new one. It was my Hive Tyrant. But just to show you one back from when I first got the Tyranids, we have the Screamer Killer Carnifex. Now, this boy's a bit brighter in his arms. He's a bit brighter on his orange and his yellow arms. We have the Screamer Killer Carnifex. Now, that is done in the exact same way. It was base black, dry brush ivory, blocking the colours, re-dry brush ivory, painting the eyes. That is the exact same way that I managed to do this guy. And I think it turned out okay. Along with all the others that have been done in this method. Even to the point where the armour, you can see along the chitin armour or chitin armour or however you wish to pronounce it, you can actually see the small little dents and divots and scratches, and they do actually stand out a little bit more than if you wish to just block paint them in like I did with the great big whopping Psychophage. It is a much easier way of doing it. That's a 3,000 points of these. which was an accidental army, I must say. It was completely accidental. I never intended to collect Tyranids. I just happen to have now. And I have a reasonable force to either swarm you or monster crush you. And you're thinking, no, it's not a big monster. That's because I'm a little monster. Those of you who remember, I got 2 of these. So I have set one up as the non-emissary with the hands and the big claws, and the official non-emissary head as well. But I liked that head so much that I put it on my non-annihilator as well. So he still has the big scything talons, except he has now got the absolutely whopping, great big, huge barb launchers. The ones that are there to harpoon launchers, I think they are. So they skewer you in and they pull you in towards him. I agree. I like big bugs and I cannot lie. All you other brothers can't deny. When you see you walk in with a big bloody grin and the round thing in your face, you get stung with his tail, boy. Sorry. I got carried away a bit with that one, didn't I? But yeah, I loved the head so much that I kept the head on both of them, which I'm glad of, because that gave me the spare head for the Winged Hive Tyrant. But again, the same process: block colours and dry brushing. That's all it was with these. The entire Tyranid range was just block colours, dry brush, block colours, dry brush. Such a simple and effective method, but it seems to only work with those that have the texture already on them. I wouldn't like to try that with... Well, I did try that with Space Marines and it looked shit. It looked absolutely terrible. So I won't be trying that with Space Marines again. The only one it worked with was the one that was covered in a cloak, which was the Librarian. And he's covered in a cloak. He's got the texture there to pull it off. It's the only one it actually worked with. So if all of them are in that side, what's in the other side of here? Oh, the other side of here we have Blade Guard Veterans. We have Terminators. We have lots of bleeding Terminators. We have Blade Guard Veterans. So just to give you an idea of what's in this side as well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Blade Guard Veterans. A unit of 3 Eliminators. 6 what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. The new Melter guys in Gravis armor. Eradicators, that's it. 6 Eradicators and 9 Aggressors in this pack. Then we come to the oh dear, what's going on? I can't believe you've done that to them side, which is Terminators. Now this is going to be a big shock compared to some. Now I do have 15 of these which are not ready and not been painted, not been touched, not done. Pack off. And these are the Terminators, lots and lots and lots of them. Now I have Grey Knight Terminators which are yet to be converted into Assault Terminators with the falchions to make them into the other side of Assault Terminators, so that they can go alongside these. Now these are the other proxy Terminators that I got from Rogue's Den Hobbies. They're not supposed to be Terminators, they are technically supposed to be more of a standard style trooper. It's just that when I compared them to... Let's find one of the new Terminators. When I compared it side by side with one of the new Terminators, there wasn't much difference. Now, those are the new Terminators, which are a little bit bigger. But if I was to pull this chappy out, now this is one of my first attempts at doing the Terminators. He's not as clear cut. Now I have picked up a lot of the detail on him. He's Crux Terminatus, any of the Aquillas on his gun, but he's a messy model. How he's been painted is messy. He's still got a chalky effect on him that I need to sort out. But that was one of my very early Terminators. The later ones turned out a little bit better. Still not 100% finished yet, with me having to paint the assault cannon, and that's mainly because I'm not sure what colours to paint it. But all Terminators have the white helmet and green eyes. Now, again, Rogues Den Hobbies, thank you very much, because that's where I got these from, to do my Thunderhammer and Storm Shields. Now, I'm aware that they may be coming out soon, with more Thunderhammers and Assault and Storm Shields for official models, but I don't care, these fit perfectly into the theme of my army. So I have 10 Thunderhammer and Storm Shields, 15 total ranged ones. Now it's 5 of the old models and 2 sets of the new modern sized Terminators, which means I also have 2 assault cannons, which is why I'm quite eager to be able to make the missile pod or the missile pack to go onto one of the smaller Terminators. That way I can have both sets of heavy weapons. And still lots and lots of Grey Knight Terminators to convert into more Assault Terminators. So these will be the close combat classified as the Lightning Claws when I eventually get around to converting them. My Space Marine army is getting fucking big, isn't it? It's getting fast. I mean, I've got these. I'm sat there going, yeah, I've got this librarian and that captain and this librarian and those banner bearers and that chaplain and this justiciar and that and that. I've not even pulled out a lot of them. There's still quite a few that have yet to be shown or haven't been shown for a number of years. Didn't realise this tray was quite this neat though, but having the Blade Guard veterans, again, a lot of them need touching up, whether it be through the helmets, along the weapons, or just sorting out like the crotch cloths and things. There's a lot of touching up that I've realised I've got to do on these. So yeah, that's a lot of work, especially on the Eradicators. The Eradicators have not had much done to them. The Aggressors have all been done slightly differently, so I can run them as either bolters or flamers. Now there is one army that I did paint over that period of time that I've not been able to show off. I am a little bit gutted because it is a full force, and that would be Calm's Necrons. I did paint all these Necrons for him. I think it was 50 warriors, 5 immortals, God knows how many, 15 Scarab Swarm bases, lots of Scarfect destroyers and lords, a few lords as well now that I come to think about it. Damn close to 100 plus models. I'm pretty sure it goes onto the plus side. I'm just 100 models at least. I do not have any photos of them to hand, and I also certainly don't have any models. They're all at Calm's house now. I have more of his. If we have anything here of his, it's his battle suits for his tower army. I have more of them than those now, which is not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. Let's just have a quick check that I've not missed anything that people have put in. I do not believe so. No, I have not missed anything, which is good, which is very good. I do not want to miss things that people are saying. But as a run through what I've been doing over the last 4 years on this channel, that's a pretty fair assumption, or a pretty good look at what I've been doing prior to the more recent streams. Obviously this year, which I'm going to finish off with now, more close to home what I've been doing. This year I've been doing the Magical World of Sparkles and Oak. Now they are all in the kitchen, on the table, on the little diorama. and I've blocked myself away from that. All my boxes are out at the moment with Warhammer in it. So until I move these, close them all up and put them away, I'm not actually getting out of my desk. I'm not getting from behind my desk. It's not going to happen because I've built myself a wall of plastic, which I'm going to try closing some of it now, just to hopefully be able to actually move. That's the black, one of the black cases, the green case, the other black case. 4 black cases, sorry, 3 black cases, 1 green case, and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And about 16 cardboard boxes. That is what I would call a healthy Warhammer collection, considering I'm not even counting Dungeons and Dragons or Age of Sigmar in there. However, that is a recap of my 4 years. Let's have a look at the more recent stuff then. So recently I had the privilege of, just before they closed down, sorry, pardon me, I managed to order a singular model. Now, I only ordered 1, but I got sent 3. And these were shipped from America, from the Miniature Tavern. Now, I'll show you the model that the model that I actually ordered is there. That's the one I ordered. What I got sent extra was a custody with a face that looks like Henry Cavill. It actually took me longer than I expected to get this right because I didn't realise that was a lion over his shoulder. And there is lots and lots and lots of gold on this guy. His face was a bit of a pain to get right, along with his hair as well. Did not have fun with his face. Quite simple for the rest of it. And when I found the lion, it was like, oh, I didn't realise, and it was a nice surprise. Now, that would have got sent out with most orders if you'd had ordered from the Miniature Tavern. However, while I was talking to Tia and Watts, Tia decided to send me a model she just thought I would enjoy painting, just something for sheer fun of it. And she was right. She sent me this Tzeentch Sorceress. Oh, well, it's not actually a Tzeentch Sorceress, it's a 3-armed sorceress with a raven on her shoulder. Definitely a female because of she's got tits. That's a woman. Nicely sculpted, beautifully sculpted, but with the 3 arms, and obviously me being a massive Warhammer fan, can't deny that, I chose Tzeentch's colours, so pink skin, blue robes, and that was the colour scheme for me, pink skin, blue robes and gold. I was determined to make it a Tzeentch one. And I really enjoyed painting this. Every last moment of it, from the staff to picking out the details. It does show a lot of how I've progressed back from painting these. Sorry to pick up Joey again. But from painting the Space Marines, where I barely got a lot of the details, I've missed so much. I've got pouches to go back over, and I've got so much to come back and get on these 75 intercessors. But painting an individual model like this, I found it was a lot easier to find those pieces because I was taking my time on a single model. So when it comes down to the rope work, the actual staff itself, any of the wrappings around the staff, the separate colour for the shawl and for the little raven on the shoulder, the blending of lighter and darker tones of pink for abdomen and body area, and then obviously the washes and the highlights for the gold. So unbelievably fun to paint. And I had a great time doing it. It also showed me a lot that I had improved compared to when I did originally start. Now, if you've made it for this far, this will be the last model I'm showing off that I've painted. And I've saved it to last for a reason, because it is a very big model. Not my biggest, but it's a big model, and it is resin. And could break if I drop it. Now, this is my Angron proxy. I will be doing a World Eaters army. If I can continue with the Combat Patrol magazine, that'll be excellent. It'll finish off my World Eaters army right at the end of the Combat Patrol magazine. If for some reason they stop getting it in my local newsagents, I'm just going to fill out my World Eater army. I'm going to forget about the Leagues of Votan. I'm not going to bother with the Gene Stealer cults. I'm not going to get the Astra Militarum, the Imperial Guard either. I'm just going to go for the World Eaters. Now, this is my proxy Angron. Now, there were a few techniques tried, a few techniques failed, and a few techniques worked overly well when I did this model. So, using my airbrush to get most of it down, the oversprays, I'm not as accurate as I need to be with an airbrush, which is one of the other techniques that I tried to pick up over the last few years. I am not that good with an airbrush. I can correct it a lot easier using dry brushing, and having the red underneath kind of gives it that blood for the blood god tone. Skulls and ivory, I'm getting used to. How to do his stone armor and stone weaponry, I wasn't sure on at the time, so I decided to try a new technique, or at least new color schemes, which was a purple wash with a green dry brush. Now that resulted in this effect, which is all the high ridged areas are green, but it seeps back down into a purple. It does the same again on the axe here, and to a degree on his bladed arm guards and knee pads. And there's lots of different bits on him, including a different demon head, which he uses as a belt buckle. So many skulls that Khan will be happy. And his face itself, if I can get it up, the ability to highlight, I mean, even on that blurred camera you can see the ridges on his eyes, as well as the big tusk coming out from the side of his face, see? But it allowed me to develop my layering a lot more, and as it shows there, I have improved slightly. And on the wings as well, it's not as obvious here, but there are multiple layers of burgundies, oranges, reds coming all the way through the actual wings themselves. I mean, if I do twist it in the camera there, it does show a little bit more. But I will, again, better photos will help with that. Again, with the leather, I've managed to, if I can get it up close enough, the leather's toning is, you can see where the improvements have been made. Especially if we go back to something like EB's Judicia, and then bring him in. You can see where the lighter and the much darker recesses are, whereas with the Judicia it's not quite as obvious once it gets out of the orangey stage. You don't always want orange for leather, so that was a nice model to paint. Again, another nice model to paint. Do need to keep all of that Drucci Violet though, because that's how I create. That's the actual wash I used to get that effect. I believe that is everything that I can get or get to that has been painted, that hasn't been covered 96 bazillion times on my channel. Now, there are some things like the Tyranids where there are about 4, 5, maybe even 10 streams of me painting Tyranids in that colour and covering the base, on which is tea leaves. So much easier, it's just tea leaves. Fruity tea leaves, but still tea leaves. Makes great basing material. That is my 4 years in summary, done in 3.5 hours. That's, well, call it 3 hours, because a little bit of chatting, small break. It's not too bad. But that is my 4 years of being on YouTube. That is what I have to show for it. that is all the work I've been doing. Many more things to do. I still have Losgulf Whacker. I still have my Stomper. I still have most of my Archive to paint. I've got to go read back through all my Space Marines. I've got to put all this away before Sparkles comes down, so that people can leave for school in the morning. Which is always the most fun thing to do, is put everything away that you've dragged it all out. Also, coming up next year, I should have a Tau army to paint, as well as various other D&D side characters, creatures, BBGs, various other things to come for D&D, which I hope will be nice and fun. Oh no! No! You remember that little thing that we painted earlier? This one. That just decided to get stuck to the floor. That is still very sticky, see? Very tacky. Very tacky. I am not throwing a brush anywhere near that at the moment. That I might have to cover on a different stream. Let's move things out of the way so that Sparkles can move around the living room tomorrow morning. Which does mean putting other things back as well. Like the big cases. These ones, the big green one and the big black one. That didn't sound good, did it? That sounded like models falling and getting... No. It is the vehicle case. You can go there for the time being. So I can move this back. And Sparkles can open the door in the morning. Excellent. The medium-sized case with the boxes to go on top, which also goes under the desk, along with the big case, which I've already put under. I have to shift that one first. Now, what's stopping this from going where it should go? Nothing now. That's good. It's nice to be able to move again. It is. It's nice to be able to move. See, that looks very white on there. And I have lost that camera. Bye bye. And back in. Power on. Hello. Why I've lost my desk cam. My desk cam has took a knock and has turned itself off. Welcome. Yes. No. Goodbye. Plug USB into USB properly. Plug USB into USB properly. Touch the power button. And now no, don't go delete this. Why aren't you going to a PC camera now? Okay, I'm going to have to try. I'm just going to put that to what I hope will be the right camera, just so it's not selecting my webcam, my face down cam, which is not working. It's not letting me select you as a... Why aren't you letting me select you as a USB device? That is rather peculiar, and I don't like it. That's the HDMI slot, that's the USB-C slot. Only got one button. It's got one power button, that's all it's got. I'm not sure why this has two chat boxes, so let's get rid of that one. And I'm not sure why this is not working. So, seeing as I've just had a major technical malfunction right at the end of the screen, it seems like the perfect time to say thank you for everybody who came to join me. I have to work out what's going wrong with my camera now, because it's not registering as a webcam. Let's find out, shall we? No. I mean, it's working fine there. That's video. Menu. Menu. Mode. Menu. Huh. How peculiar. Well, while I'm working out tech issues, I will bid you all adieu. Thank you very much for coming to join me this evening and celebrating my 4-year anniversary with me. Not much of a celebration, I know. No drinks were handed out, no party snacks. Not a great party. But I still enjoyed myself. I had a good trip down memory lane and I enjoyed taking you all down there with me, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. So please, if you don't already know, look after yourselves, drive safely, and I will see you next time.